Hey guys, how you doing? Happy Friday. Yes, notice that, Melissa? Look at that. The defense team is like ready. Our shoes are shined. We have a bunch of paralegals carting and a bunch of briefcases full of information, don't we? I think we should maybe let a couple of paralegals sit right at the table. What do you think, Shenanigan Maker? You think the judge is going to be okay with that if we have a bunch of non-barred in front of the bar? So here's what we know so far. We have a defense team, and we still have room for one more on the defense, I think, but I might be wrong. I'm not sure. So we have Melissa, Shenanigan Maker. I'm writing these down as I'm saying them. And we have Miss Mensa on the defense. Prosecution, we have the chatterboxes. And we might have Shenanigan Maker's ex-husband too, but we're not sure. And we have the judge, who is our resident nail filer, so that she can file her nails because we're going to be so boring. And that way, when the prosecutors object, then she won't have been paying attention. She will have been filing her nails. So she'll just say, overruled, and let us keep going. The DA, Melissa, is the chatterboxes. So far, we need more. And then I think it's a good idea to have the jury be everybody in chat, right? So what we need right now, we need to have more on the prosecution, and we need to have one more on the defense if you guys want to have four, but I'm fine with three if you want, because then we can say, look at that, they have four, we only have three, we still won. Okay, good. Chat is jury. So I think at this point, just keep in mind that the invitation is open if you want to be on the defense or on the prosecution, okay? So at this point, let's go ahead and list off our witnesses, you think? Since we sat that jury really fast in record time. We'll just say, do you have a pulse? Okay. Shenanigan Maker, I wanted to talk to you about that. Are you familiar with the Weld County Model Program? The award-winning model program? I think in 2014, they won an award because they were the leader in the state for their model program of trying to keep children in the home instead of removing them. I've been scouring for any of those articles, but I can't find them. I wonder why, speaking of scouring, right? It's good that you have found case law, but remember, this is YouTube, and probably you're the smartest one here when it comes to case law. Although that'll be good. You can just talk over everyone's head and we'll all go, ooh, wow. All right. Yeah, I read that one. What was it? New Hampshire, I think. Really, shenanigan maker, we could probably just have you and chatterboxes do closing arguments and we'd win. Nothing against chatterboxes. There's just so much to go on. Should we do the thing about how, if you go to sleep at night and there isn't any snow on the ground and you wake up in the morning and you see there's snow on the ground, then, it's circumstantial evidence, but you can pretty much deduce that it snowed last night. Susie says, I'm pretty brainy, or I'm rather brainy. I know my phonetic alphabet. I was thinking about the other alphabet today. I don't think I can remember it. Shenanigan Maker says it will be better than trying to get into mental health because then we go into hearsay territory. Well, I think the prosecutors are going to be wanting to call everything hearsay. So we'll have to just remember this is the YouTube version. We're going to have to create a few YouTube exceptions to hearsay. Maybe we should rewrite the hearsay rule. All right, Kathy Jo says I can play whatever or whoever. Just let me know. You sound like would you like to play NA? Let's have our first step be that we figure out our witnesses. How's that? I think we all agree we want NA as a witness. But we should decide if these witnesses are defense witnesses or prosecution witnesses. And then you have to kind of stop and think, would you rather have the prosecution call them so that you can really go at it on the cross exam? You know what I mean? Ooh, Paula says everyone's power is still on, but little water, no gas, food items, and boil water in order. Ooh, wow. Not okay. Man, Paula, your life just got more exciting. Okay, Nate as a witness. We'll call Nate as a prosecution witness, I think, right? I think we should call NA as a prosecution witness, too. Kathy Jo says, I found the picture of Bella with the teenage boys. Can't remember who wanted it. Lainey says, MM wanted it, Kathy. Okay, NA, SR, Primrose School. So SR is on the prosecution side. The school, I think his name is Chris. We'll call him Chris Primrose. I think the defense should call the employee of the police department who said that she received a phone call when she first got to work that morning. And then she changed it and said it was actually a few hours later. Okay, NA's son, we'll put him on the prosecution list. Oh, yes, the dispatcher too. Let's see. We'll, I guess put that one on the prosecution list too. We'll just have fun chewing them up on cross exam, I guess. Let's see, the dispatcher, NA's son. Shenanigan Maker says all the defense has to do is sit back and throw reasonable darts to pop evidentiary balloons floating around the courtroom. Oh, if I was good with graphics, that'd be fun to have that going on during the whole thing. What does yes micro mean? What about KK? I mean, clearly. Well, she's going to be trying to get in front of the bar because she wants to sit at the table right next to Chris. Oh, who is Micro? Melissa says yes, Micro. I don't know who Micro is. Or are you telling Paula to microwave? Maybe the defense could call a social worker. That'll be like our, you know, Alexis Carrington moment. The social worker can wear really big sunglasses and have a hat on and walk into the room, and then we can say, dun, 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 join us next week. Yes, a CPS social worker. I have no idea what that means, Lainey. Micro is in your chat. Oh, Micro's a person? Let me find Micro. Microscope. Okay, got it. There's our defense strategy right there. We're going to sit there with our reasonable doubt darts and target practice. Cassie's a good one, Lainey. Okay, Cassie's on the list. Tell me again if I'm forgetting anything. Real Justice says, world famous, world's leading expert, and most trusted name in the CW game here, party people. Is that AD? Should we try to get AD as a witness? Since he knows everything. And if he doesn't, he'll still say he does. Okay, Melissa says, would love to hear your theories real. Hop up on the panel, please. Okay, real. I'm going to copy and paste the link because Melissa wants to hear your theories. Paste. Enter. Come on, real. Come on, we're waiting. Come on, real. Bling is the new black. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, Bling, guess what? I saw your name on the list today. Wink, wink. Ray says no AD. Melissa says, hey, Paula, sending lots of love and best wishes your way. LOL, Paula. Lots of love. Summer Breeze says, AD says he's going to crack the case wide open. I haven't gotten it yet, Bling, but it's on the list. I saw it came in, so that's good. So I'll get it shortly. So I don't know at all what it looks like, but I saw your name, the Bling name, on the list. Melissa says, will you come up on panel with me, Real? Shenanigan Maker says, hi, Paula Boo Bear. Real Justice says, I wish you could play videos so we can discuss the evidence, Mensa. Well, Real Justice, you and me both. Real Justice says, I don't call in. Wait, I clicked on the wrong one. Real Justice says, I don't call in, Jade. Paula says, let me cross-examine the avocado. Sandy and NA, liars, all of them. Do you want to be on the defense, Paula? Paula, Paula, Paula. I'm going to write your name on the defense if you don't say no really super fast. And then our defense team is set. Paula said yes. We have our defense team. Woot, woot. Is Summer here? Is Summer the one who said I blocked her? Or no? I'm not sure. I can't remember people. When the names sound kind of alike, then I get confused. But someone was saying that I blocked her, and I'm like, when did I ever block you? They were saying this over on another channel. I said, when did I ever block you? And she said, well, I make comments and nobody says anything. Nobody replies to me. I thought, I don't think that's blocked. FR for the prosecution. I just wrote that down. Lainey says, who finds a phone in 3 minutes when you're supposed to look for people? That's a good question. We should find an expert on how long it takes to find a lost phone. Melissa says they never even look for people, Lainey. Even NA said they were looking for things. She said that right out. They were looking for things. Isn't it weird how all of those little clues were right there? But until we kind of put a bunch of puzzle pieces together, none of it made sense. Ooh, Melissa wants to call the coroner. Is it a medical examiner or a coroner? Do you know? I'll say coroner for now, but if you find out it's a medical examiner, let me know. Character witnesses for Chris. Okay, I think Jeremy Lindstrom would be a really good one for the defense. I think Ronnie Watts would be really good for the defense. I think Cindy Watts would be really good for the defense. And that best friend is at Mark, I think. I think he'd be really good. And then that guy who sat in the park with his wife, I have no idea what his name is. I think the guy would be a good one for Chris, and I think the wife would be a good one for the prosecution. But what are their names? Was it Amanda and something or other? The Thayers. So we'll put Mr. Thayer as a defense witness and Mrs. Thayer as a prosecution witness. And then I think we should sequester everybody. we'll we'll sequester everyone. We'll have everyone do like social distancing. Oh wait, we already are doing that. Okay, let's see. Her nurse friend, what was her name? The Mrs. Dietz? We'll call her Mrs. D. We'll put her for the defense, I think, right? Good, Bumblebee. Got it. Wrote it down. I'll call her Mrs. D. Real Justice says Waterman was named Chris too. I think it's Rain Man. Paula says they never called out to anyone. And then he told the detective she tried not to touch things because she felt something was wrong. Well, they touched everything. Well, maybe she tried not to, but yes, Susie, doctors. We need doctors. That'll be on the defense side. We'll call all sorts of doctors and emergency room workers and stuff like that. You know, the court is supposed to run efficiently, right? So pretty much we should just pick one or two of the doctors. I say, heck with that noise. We're going to call in doctors from North Carolina. We're going to call in doctors from all the different places. We can even call in the drugstore from 45 minutes away. For some reason, she picked up drugs 45 minutes away from home. because I think that's going to be a big part of it. Now, okay, now what about, let's call Alice LaViolette. She's not about this case, but she knows all about domestic violence. She can be our expert witness. Crystal says Zav Girl's copying. Yeah, she pretty much copies us every time we do a video, Crystal. I don't know if you've noticed that before. But when we started talking about NA, she started talking about NA. KK does the same thing. I think the service we provide is we give all of the yahoos content. And then when they can't figure out what we're talking about, then they just go ahead and make attack videos. Gotta have content. Yes, the realtor. And that'll be a defense witness, right? Because we're going to find out that it was never listed, even though Shanann told Christopher Watts it was listed. Danielle's ready. She has her coffee. Mr. King. Ooh. And the Dirty South boss. Those are some interesting witnesses. Real is giving their theory, and it sounds interesting. I heard that for the first time the other day. People were talking about it. Susie says, I'm making coffee soon at midnight. I'm sorry, you guys. If you ever like have any sleep deprivation going on, seriously, don't do it. You can just like, listen the next day and see if I fell asleep and started snoring. Hi, Amanda. Well, you missed a lot. You missed a lot. No, I'm kidding. You didn't miss anything. Ooh, Chris Miller and Mrs. King. I need to get a new piece of paper now. Let's see here. Daisy Days needs matchsticks. Oh, wait, what did I just say? Mrs. King. And what was the other one? Oh, crap. There was a good one up there. What was it? Mrs. King and who? I'm moving my notebooks all around here. Susie says I can handle it. One all-nighter a week. Yes, phone records from all the witnesses. And also video cameras from all the neighbors. And also video cameras from the airports. And then we'll just make up what's on them, since this is a YouTube courtroom with no real rules going on. You guys might laugh at this. I've been sitting here talking and my microphone was muted. Paula says, me too. I love my coffee. I was talking to my friend last night and went to sleep. She said I was snoring. Thought of you, MM. Real Justice says, can someone show Mensa how to play with play videos maybe? Ooh, On the Lake says, I'll be Dieter. On the Lake, are you a talking dog? If you're a talking Dieter, that might be an interesting witness. Microscope says this is a thinking group. I've noticed no one is screaming for NK's head on a platter in the right place. That's because the NK thing was all debunked back in 2018. So if you see someone doing a video on NK, pretty much you can figure they either just came on board or they don't care about that theory already being debunked over 2 years ago. Mo Girl says if only Dieter could talk. I don't think he would be able to tell us anything because I think he was probably safely tucked in his crate covered with a heavy blanket so he could avoid the energy in the house. Ooh, the MLMs, yes. Let's see, those would be for the defense, right? So we need a forensic accountant too for the defense so that we can see if we can find out where that 10,000 went that they took in March. Well, Crystal, I think he was actually probably in his crate. I think he probably spent most of his life in his crate. Most of his life before the tragedy, I mean. Real Justice says, whatever happened to Mary Marlowe? You realize she was an actress, right? You realize she came on board in April of 2019 attacking Miss Mensa big time, committing slander big time, committing defamation big time. She was definitely part of the scumbag attackers team. I was really surprised, Danielle. Danielle says, so sad for that dog. I was so surprised that they didn't turn the dog over to the Dietz family. She had a good microphone, all right. I thought she was kind of classic with that whole lipstick routine, too. But if you saw all the crap or if you heard all the crap she said, I don't think anybody would be falling for any of it. You know the whole plan with her, right? She was supposed to mirror her opinions to my opinions and then go crazy so everyone could say, look at that, they're crazy. Jane Doe says, was watching a video yesterday of SW with the girls. Cece kept going up the stairs and she kept having to go get her. Why didn't she have a baby gate? She did have baby gates. I think she was probably trying to show a video where she was, the overtaxed mom, because she did more than 90% of, or 95% of the other women out there. Paul says, yeah, I saw fake profiles of yours writing. They had 6 that I know of, but I know there were more. There were 6 that I know of that they started right off the bat. Well, I was on vacation. They were using my photo, using my name, and they were posting some really nasty stuff. And sending nasty messages too, I hear. Whoa. Shenanigan Maker has a holy migraine. That's not good. Hey, Cosmo, I don't feel sorry for her at all. And I think what you want to remember is she was an actress. And when she came on board, she was absolutely nothing but spewing all sorts of weird crap. Yes, Danielle, and a weirdo to boot. Emma Clover said, was she? Yeah, she was pretty bad. She was saying some really nasty crap. She was definitely part of the program. The whole idea was to have her mirroring what we were saying on this channel and then going weirdo so then everyone could say, look at that. Anyone who thinks like that is a weirdo. Do you remember that one channel that started a couple months ago and she was like, I love Miss Mensa. She's so nice. I love her. And then she sat there and said some really bad things. That's part of how they do it. Mary Marlowe never said I love Miss Mensa. She was doing it a different way. But it's all part of their scam. Paula says, NA also said CW did all the laundry and SW worked just to send the girls to a private school. NA also said she got the mail. While SW was in North Carolina. Why did CW not get the mail? That's why we need Alice LaViolette. I'm not going to call her full name all the time. I'll just call her Alice. That's why we need Alice, and I don't mean Alice Cooper, because she's an expert on domestic violence, so she can explain to us all about the battered male syndrome. And that's a good thing for her to testify on. That's one of the examples. Kathy Jo says, did you see the new video about you muting someone on the panel, MM? I did, and she's so full of shit, I'm telling you. Ugh. She's obviously just trying to get views and clicks. You notice she puts my name right in the title, right? And then everyone sends me the link to, it's kind of like, oh, here we go again. I put a comment. Do you know the channel Simcast? I put a comment underneath Simcast's comment because Simcast was actually making a very good point. She said, you said how much you liked her, and now you're basically, I don't know what she said, but like throwing her under the bus. And I asked Simcast if she would want to be on our prosecution team. And then the scumbag attacker channel creator posted a really nasty comment. Not really nasty, but I just thought, oh, you are so psycho. So I deleted my comment. And then I thought, she's probably going to make a video now about me commenting. It was the dumbest thing. It was the dumbest thing. In fact, it was so dumb. I'll go ahead and try to read it. Let's see, where is it? Because I think it'll come up in my feed. Maybe not. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, you got to hear this. This is so weird, right? Okay, Simcast said, I don't feel sorry for you. She was posting a comment on that lady's channel. She said, I don't feel sorry for you. You were singing her praises and now you've turned on her because she sniped at you. Well, you reap what you sow. And then they went back and forth a couple times. And then I said that about asking Simcast. I said, thank you for standing up, And then I asked her if she wanted to be on the prosecution team for our mock trial. And this is what the channel creator posted, which is so weird. Par for the course, let me tell you. She wrote, peekaboo, Miss Mensa. I mean, isn't that creepy? Peekaboo, Miss Mensa. Blech. And then she says, quote, promoting your wee channel, Miss Mensa. Glad I can be a help to your channel. Keep popping in now and again. I am sure you will find more. The more you take from here, the better for me. Isn't that weird? Ooh, good one, Contrary Marge. If the oil drums don't fit, you must acquit. Sarah says, I've always followed you. I just don't talk a whole lot because I'm usually taking care of the grandchild or doing something else. But I do love your theory. I don't have to agree with everything you. Well, they're all talking about it because they always talk about what each other are talking about. I know sometimes it seems like, oh, wow, that's really interesting because, 6 different channel creators are doing a video on it. It's just because they follow each other because they don't know what else to say. Either that or we've said something and they're trying really hard to make it go away. Wanda says, SW texted a friend. The kids were being pulled from school. His family is getting their way. Tells me people knew their financial mess and said it had to stop. She was bitter, but couldn't afford it. His family got their way? What, did they raise an eyebrow at some point and become public enemy number one? Yeah, Paula, some people are. And that particular person that I just read that creepy comment is one of them, let me tell you. If the BAC test is lit, you must acquit. Oh, we need a BAC expert, don't we? Paul says it's your channel, so even if you muted her, that's your prerogative. And I would say, Paul, that I probably learned from that experience to mute fast. Joshua says, why are they talking about her 3 different shirts the night she flew home from Arizona? No clue. Lilu says, so glad to be here. Nice and early. LOL. Hope everyone is doing great. So far, it sounds like they're doing great. We haven't had any alphabet lessons yet, though, so everyone's still awake. Crystal says you can mute whoever you want. I think the logical thing, too, is like she was up on the panel, right? Even though people were telling me not to let her up there and people were telling me to get her off of there, she was up on the panel. I think that says a lot more than at what point I muted her. I don't even remember muting her. Did I mute her? I don't know. And I don't know who else was on the panel because if we had a bunch of people on the panel and she didn't talk, whatever. I don't want to sound mean, but I don't even care. I get emails from people saying, why did you block me? I didn't block them. Or if I did, they must have said something pretty bad because I don't block all that many. Cosmic says Zav was taking in the cash last night. Oh, I bet they were. Paul says, I miss Honey Badger even though I don't agree with any of her theories. That's cute. Contrary Marge says, airport surveillance from all common areas of airport, including lounges where they had drinks. And including, I think, a few other airports too, just to make sure. Lilu says, that's why I'm cautious of people. One minute they're on the panel, the next they're making hate comments. We've had two that I know of who go right off to one of the hater channels and they start in, uh-oh, Shart alert, Melissa, Melissa, our Shart detective, has detected a Shart in the room. Exactly, Susie, including airports in North Carolina. Yes, the food and bar bill from the airport. Good idea. Paula says FR said he knew nothing about money issues or marital issues, and Frankie said his sister told him things she didn't tell her parents, and she said nothing to him either. Very strange. Marina Del Rey says, did anyone see NA going on live to cry about how people are saying that she lied and twisted her timelines? She's whining about people talking, yet she's never off social media. Was that something recent, Marina Del Rey? I haven't seen that. I think one of the defense slogans could also be something along the lines of one bankruptcy, two bankruptcy, three bankruptcy, four. Cosmic says, I'm true to you, MM. You don't take money, you're real. YOUR. Uh-oh. Warning, Will Robinson, warning. And you make the most sense, and I love your laugh. Aw. I think my laugh is kind of offensive, especially if we were in person, I would be hitting your shoulder. I always do that. Why did NA's son say to the cop right away, Nate has cameras? The cop had not asked yet. Contrary Marge says the camera over the bar wells cash wraps that all bars have, plus detailed credit card tabs. And since this is a YouTube courtroom with no rules, I think we'll go ahead and create the credit card tabs. Jamie says, Will Robinson, I say that and people don't know what I'm talking about. That's because, Jamie, you and I are old. Free of a Kind says, I slap people when I laugh too. I've always done it, always. And right on the shoulder, kaboom. Kind of like laugh harder. Wake up. Shenanigan Maker with the Holy Migraine says 65 to 90% of jurors make up their minds after hearing the opening statements. Ooh, then I definitely want you to do the opening statement instead of me. Anyway, I think like I can do a really emotional closing argument, you know? Something like, I don't know. My goal will be to get people to cry. So although we do want to do any cross strategy, we don't want to overload our witnesses as the defense. Hmm. Good thinking. Good thinking. Hmm. Maybe we should have the prosecution call anyone we want. Isn't that how it works? Cosmo says, truth aside, SW told and texted everyone only what she wanted them to know. Hill Country Handy says, yes, people need to feel for those poor, abused children. I think Bella and Cece's pictures should be blown up really, really big and right in the center of the courtroom. Read my follow-up comment. It explains. Let me look, click. Here we go. That can work against us in a murder trial. We need to concentrate more on who would be the best to cross to get the prosecution's witnesses to say things that the prosecution doesn't want them to say. Well, I think NA will be our star witness, or not our star witness, but the star prosecution witness, who will turn out to be the best defense witness, in my opinion. But that's good thinking, Shenanigan Maker. We shouldn't have a long list of people, should we? We should be more focused on on shooting those darts at the balloons. I like how you think. Lilu says another identity crisis case. And what about the children? I notice our prosecutor isn't here yet. You know what I'm concerned about? I'm concerned that maybe the scumbag attackers are like putting the heat on her, making it where she doesn't want to show up. Let me check my email to see if she emailed me. Wait, that's not my email. Where's my email? Here it is. Nope. I thought I saw one before though. Let me look and see if she was going to be here or not, because she said she was. Man, there's a ton of emails here, you guys. There it is. Oh, that was a few days ago. I think she sent one since then. Hold on, I'll scroll through again. Yeah, here it is. She did. 21 hours ago. She didn't say she isn't coming. I thought she'd be here for sure. I hope the scumbag attackers aren't pressuring her to not play with us on the playground, you know? You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh, where are you? Where'd you go? I don't know where you are, you guys. There you are. Oh, man, all I could find was YouTube. I'm like, where did StreamYard go? Oh, Cooter Brown's here. Hi, Cooter Brown. Tomorrow, Cooter Brown. Oops, it scrolled up too fast. Hold on. Ooh, Cooter Brown's going live with Honey Badger at 7:30 p.m. All right. That'll be interesting. Cosmic says bullies. What? Tiffany doesn't have electricity or water. That's not good, Tiffany. Oh, who isn't here? The prosecutor. Melissa wants to know, when will our first court appearance be? Once we figure out our list of witnesses and whoever's going to be on prosecution, because if Chatterboxes isn't here, That's concerning because I think that means they're probably telling her not to play with us. Three of a Kind says I was shouting aloud at my screen watching the playback of the last live when you guys were doing the phonetic alphabet, the NATO phonetic alphabet, because I know it all by heart. I knew it all by heart a few years ago, but as you could tell, I was struggling. Tiffany says, what do you feel is up with the MGL new videos with Red Rum and the Truth Tammy? I like chatterboxes. I don't know. I don't watch that channel. Do you guys just for grins and giggles want to do the regular one? I would also introduce the Probar video where, yes, exactly. We should have an allergist expert. Really, with a handful of experts, I think we can sweep the floor. What is mycomania, Marina Del Rey? Or no, mytho? Is that like lying or something? Is that telling myths for extended periods of time with lots of energy? Shenanigan Maker, Mency, per scheduling, I'm going to need at least a week. I already have court all this upcoming week, so the next would be better. Same here, Shenanigan Maker. This next week is way too busy. Plus, remember, it's going to be, well, we have to figure out what's going on with the prosecution. Is there anybody in the chat right now who wants to be on the prosecution? Because I have a feeling they're pressuring Chatterbox. And I know she has a really kind heart. So if they're pressuring her, she's probably feeling it. Good idea. Contrary Marge says, I would have the jury create a vision board with only Benadryl, Tylenol, and Thrive. If there's anyone in the chat who wants to be on the prosecution, definitely step right up. Okay, Danielle says she can do allergies, except she's the judge. Who cares? This is the YouTube courtroom. I think that sounds good, Danielle. We'll have the judge testify. Oh, wait a minute. Are you guys saying MGL? Hello. 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 MGL was one of the first. There were two or three back in September and October of 2018 who were pushing really bad, saying terrible things, laughing, saying that they're smarter than I am, that they're MGL said something about wanting to meet me out in the alley and we were gonna fight it out and stuff. I didn't even have a frickin' channel. I had no clue, had never heard of her. And she was evidently part of the quote unquote team that was hired or recruited to attack me. MGL is not going to be invited. She is so transparent. There's no way. No way. She has never, ever apologized for any of the shit that she pulled with her little scumbag cohorts. She said she could have gone to law school. You'll like this one, Shenanigan Maker. one of her scumbag attacker videos that she made about me, she said she could have gone to law school. She had her LSAT book right on the bookshelf. I thought that was cute. I mean, it wasn't funny, but it was cute just the same. And her support for saying how smart she was that she was trying out for the Jeopardy show one time. I agree, Danielle. I have had that thought myself. Well, Crystal, it wasn't really fighting. It was more like a planned and organized attack. I didn't even have a YouTube channel, and they were already attacking me. And I'm not minimizing this with my laughter, I hope, because I got to tell you guys something. Those first 3 or 4 months, the organized attackers were attempting to push me to kill myself. That's part of what they do. They were attempting to push me to commit suicide. Right around Thanksgiving, one of the attackers said to another attacker, who are very tightly entwined with these same assholes, okay? No kidding. One of the scumbag attackers said, I can't believe she hasn't killed herself yet, referring to me. They had an all out organized attack attempting to harm me, attempting to harm my family, attempting to harm my businesses. And I got news for you. Save Robbie was right in the middle of all of it, too. So was Amber Alert. The list is long of the people who made it their business to try to push me to harm myself. And it was absolutely, you're right, Wanda, it was absolutely, truly disgusting. Whatever their motives are, whether they're trying to just make a quick buck or whether they get their rocks off trying to harm people, once they prove to us what they're made of, I don't buy any of their soft-spoken routine. LOLZ says, because your information is irrelevant. Shannon lost her life. Chris didn't. Who are you responding to, LOLZ? Shenanigan Maker, I feel your pain. Part of what the scumbag attackers did is they created all this bullshit crap that they post online saying that I didn't really go to law school. They said that I'm just using my son's credentials. And then they said that my undergrad, my school that I attended for undergrad, that it doesn't even exist. It's only existed for 100 some years. Paul says, how come Save Robbie and Alice are no longer friends then? I can't keep up. Well, they're all, trying to build their channels so they keep their little fights going to keep the attention going. Oh, is LOLZ a troll? LOLZ says, why don't you man up and stop hiding and blocking? Let's go ahead and let LOLZ stay. We can enjoy the laughs throughout the evening. Exactly, wench. I agree with you. Discuss the case, LOLZ. Well, LOL we know means lots of laugh. Or no, it doesn't. Oh, Silly me means lots of love, so LOLZ must be full of love. We can learn from LOLZ's posts because they won't be able to say anything specific about the case. All they know how to do is to stir, ridiculous stuff. Ooh, good idea, Tiffany. Danielle needs to get her nail file out because that's like pouring water on a witch. Everybody have their garlic necklaces on, I hope. You're right, Susie. Sure, Tiffany. I'll drop the link. Lilu's going to start delivering the sage for everybody on her broomstick. All right. Danielle has a nail Dremel too. Oh, is it electric? Is it like a electric thing that goes? Oh, I bet that would like drop like 100 of them at a time. I know it, Cosmic. I think it is pretty sad. I feel sorry for the family of the real nurse. That would really, oh, that would piss me off. Wouldn't that make you so angry if somebody came along and took your slogan for your daughter's fundraiser? Oh, I saw a bunch of crap comments because I call it a coven instead of a coven. Yeah, probably from the same people who are telling me how stupid I am because I say LOL is lots of love. Every loser slurping shakes, watching her mooch hustler by proxy abuse go down on streams. So from now on, I think we should call it a coven, which would make more sense, to not really use their language. Okay, let's run through the other one really fast. Or first, let's run through the one that we learned last time. Wanda says you can't be a witch if you don't know. Oh, wait, it went fast. There it is. You can't be a witch if you don't know how to pronounce coven. Lots of love. Cosmic says it's America. We can say what we want. Well, to a point, like we can discuss true crime cases that are on the public stage, but we really can't be saying like, oh, that person, you know, stole a car at age 12 or whatever, unless it's the truth. Now we can say somebody told me they stole a car at age 12 if it's a person who is subject to one of the true crime cases that we're talking about. Okay, see Tiffany. Do you want to put a picture up, Tiffany? Or do you want to go on? You can put a picture up if you want. If you want to go on right now, then put up a number one, put up your index finger. Okay.
I don't know. Okay, so sorry for my appearance, but I live in the hill country of Texas, and we are running out of resources. But hopefully, our electricity will be turned on very soon. Anyways, what I was going to say about Molly Go Lightly, she's not somebody I would normally watch. I just happened to, while I was boiling snow, for water.
Oh my
Boiling snow to
goodness.
water dishes, because water and everything is low. But
Oh,
anyways,
that's
I
priceless.
just happened to, so, oh, I wonder what that chick's up to. She hadn't been on for a long time after that whole Frankie whatever dropout thing when he was extracting money out of her. So she's close to the Rusex. So I noticed today she had something about truthful Tammy or something like that, and then Red Rum was on there with her, expertise as a private investigator or whatever. I think she can actually. She's learning things about this case that I am actually astounded. I'm just shocked that she was unaware of regarding Shanann Watts. The Tammy woman was as a friend of the Watts or whatever, blah blah blah, and they were doing this conspiracy rabbit hole with that Nikki Kessinger searched her out because she owed her money, and it was a mafia killing with maybe the Mason whatever the fuck, I don't know. But anyhow, moving on. Molly Go Lightly, what I noticed in that video is she had no freaking clue about some of the facts about Shanann Watts, like zero, none. And I found that very interesting. And so her reaction was like, wow, really? And then when she started seeing the proof of some of the things that Tammy was telling her from the Watts side, she was dumbfounded. Like, Sandy hadn't told her any of those things about Shanann, her daughter, and then Frank Rusex actually worked at the dealership for that slimy Indian guy that she worked for at Dirty South, apparently, or something. But
Sorry, guys. We're not going to talk like that on this channel at all. Paul says 3 Gloria videos are great. I haven't seen that one. Has Gloria started making videos again? Because I know when she was in the chat the other night, she said she was going to start doing videos again. That would be great. Shenanigan Maker says I've never built, but I've bought a home and I didn't pay the down payment to the realtor. Basically same thing, building a house, you wouldn't bring a down payment to the builder. I've built and I've bought. Any money that you would give to the realtor would not be a down payment. It would be what's called an earnest money deposit. And that's usually a little chunk of change that is presented with your offer to purchase when you enter into the contract. And, the name is very fitting, the earnest money deposit. It's usually held by the real estate broker in a trust account and then brought to the closing table and deducted. I'm not sure what the comment means. Are people saying that she gave a down payment to the builder? Exactly, Danielle. That's the earnest money if you back out. Now you do have certain windows to climb out of if you need to get out of the deal, right? Most contracts, of course, are contingent on the buyer's ability to obtain financing. So if that's the reason for backing out, then it's probably covered in the contract. Contrary Merge says, how could somebody with, oops, wrong one. Oops, wrong one. You guys are fast, man. I click on them and they go by. Here we go. How could a person with only 4 followers even make enough, let alone sell enough products to maintain the car? Well, with that backstock in the basement, I think that's probably how much was required to be able to say that they were leasing a car. We've had people say that the lease was in her name, but they didn't bring any proof. Tiffany has apologized. That's good, Tiffany. I'm glad that you saw kind of what we're talking about here. I don't mind if you want, I'll click on again and we can have a discussion, but a couple of things. We don't use names, okay? So like MGL or the R's or the Ruse or something like that. And we definitely don't want to say anything negative or derogatory about any group of people, right? And if you could like not use the F word, that'd be really good too, because we're kind of turning a corner here and getting away from that whole F word thing. I don't mean to sound like pious at all, because I have discovered the F word, and there are times where it does feel good to say the F word, but it's just better not to get to where everyone's saying it, because man, we were all saying it. So I don't know if you want to come back up, I can go ahead and click on it. Oops. Can you hear me or no? Oops, maybe not. I don't know. Tiffany, if you can hear me, if you want to come up, I clicked on it and it was just blank. Paul says no F word. Frank? No, that's fine. That's fine. If you want to come back up, come on back up. You didn't know, and I didn't say. I mean, that part's fine. The other part is not fine. Like really curtail any kind of statements like that, because here's the thing. You get up there and say something like that, then I'm the one they attack for the next 3 weeks, okay? I'm the one they're making videos about for the next 3 weeks. I'm the one that they're using that as a way to try to bash me and harm me. So we really need, I think, this is what I was saying last Wednesday when I made that video and said, please, everybody, make your own channel. Because I think it's great that we have people standing up for a right to speak, but I really think we need to, I really appreciate the people who have made their own channels and they're using their own voices on their own channels and stuff, because you guys don't know how much the attackers go on and on and on. A comment like that on this channel, I betcha there'll be all sorts of BS attackers going on, and there'll be video, no doubt. So, but come on back up. You didn't know about the F word thing, and if you say anything out of line, we'll just mute your mic. Yeah, send them to you, Tiffany. I'm sorry. They don't want to go after you. They want to go after me. They say that because I'm old that I'll be easy. And this is a good opportunity for all of us to learn, right? So get your butt back up here. Paul said, if you mute the mic, then you know who. Let's see, we should come up with a good acronym for that. We'll make another video. LOL, lots of love. I'm trying to add Tiffany, but it won't work. Hey, Tom. I'll drop the link again. Maybe you have to try again. And anyone else is welcome to come up too if you want to talk. Yellow colored crayons. That's a good one. Okay, Marina, I'm telling you. Let's see. Lilu says, Marina, I'm telling you, girl, you're onto something there. Okay, let's scroll up and see what Marina said. Marina, where are you? Oh, good, good, good. Danielle's starting her channel. Danielle says, I'm making one on baking, cooking, makeup, and other stuff. Maybe John Bonet. I've been into that for many, many years. I only do CW on here with my wenches. I don't see what she's on to. I missed it. Sorry, guys. Robin, I don't know, but you and I have both missed quite a bit. Because they're making comments, but I scrolled up and I can't find them. I know it. Danielle's going to have a great channel. Oh my gosh. That will be great. Oh, oh, oh. Here we go. Whoops. Hey, Brenda.
Alpha, Beta, Charlie.
¿Cómo está usted?
Estoy muy bien, señora Mensa. ¿Y usted cómo andas?
Un poco. Un poco.
Un poco qué.
Okay, let's go. Ready?
Alpha.
Alpha. Bravo.
Beta.
No,
Bravo.
Yeah, not beta. That's a good one, though. Alphabet. Okay, let's start over. Ready?
Okay.
Alpha.
Alpha.
No, we'll say it at the same time. You ready? We'll do like a 1, 2, 3 start. Okay? Ready?
You do one, I do one.
Okay.
That's pressure. Okay, go ahead.
Alpha.
You gotta say it loud, though.
Alpha.
Bravo.
Charlie.
This where this will make
Delta.
sense. Okay.
Echo.
I don't know
Golf.
what's going on here.
Is it really golf? I had to look it
Yeah.
up. Is it golf? Okay.
Okay.
H.
You're in the show. Everyone
Hector?
can see you.
No.
Okay.
It is not a
Halloween.
Oh,
it is not a motel.
It's a hotel.
Yes.
Ah.
And let's see, India.
Oh, jeez.
Romeo and
Juliet.
you got her. Lima.
No, ah,
fun.
kite. A
Is that
kangaroo. Go. I'm
No, I'm not
tired.
computer
Oh
savvy.
wait, we didn't do K. Kilo.
Kilo.
I'm sorry,
H.
I jumped to
No, you were
Lima.
right.
Cooking something.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're
What?
right.
Yeah, Kilo,
HIJK.
Um,
and then Lima.
Lima's a capital of
what
Peru.
it says because I'm on the freaking phone. I can't see anything.
Mensa.
Need the energy.
No,
No, it's
it's
Mike.
so weird, Mike.
And
Okay,
then N,
November.
you got it. And O, I don't know if it's us. No, October.
Amicus?
October.
Right, October.
Um,
P. P. So tired. Panel. We're live on a panel. No, it's
No, what is P? Papa.
Papa.
Yeah. Q is Quebec.
R is
The other half of Juliet.
Romeo. Duh.
And then let's see, Sierra.
T. Tom.
It's a
No.
dance. It's a dance.
Tango.
Tango. Yep. And then let's see, QRSTU, uniform.
Oh, you're so good at this.
Victor.
Victor.
I think. Is that
Yeah,
right? Okay.
I always say that. V is Victor.
And then W is something. Let me think. W is something. Oh, what's W? We know this.
We know this. Washington?
Nope.
No.
That's what I was saying the last time. I know what it isn't.
But it is yeah, you're good at this. W.
WW.
Drunk hint.
Whiskey.
Oh, damn, Robin, you got it.
UVWX. Everyone says it's X-ray, so I just say yeah, whatever, because I don't know any other X word.
Yeah.
And then Y is
Yellow.
nope,
Yellow color crayons.
nope. Y is oh, we know this too. Y is
Yankee.
Yankee. Yes, Yankee.
Shout out to Bumblebee. Bumblebee helped me out.
Oh, good.
And Z is
Zulu.
Zebra. Zulu.
Nope. Zulu.
What is a Zulu?
I don't know. It's the Z for the.
Oh, okay.
Isn't Zulu like the last letter of the or no?
No,
I don't know.
Z.
Yeah, that's Omega.
We're on the same thought pattern.
Yeah, we're in the no clue club.
Zulu is a language. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, okay, good.
Cool.
Thank you, Lilu. Now, do you know the other one?
No, the police one.
A Adam. I don't know if I know it for sure. If anyone in the chat knows the other one, definitely correct me, and correct me fast. If you
so
can.
what happened to the? I've been following. What's been going on? Is the court hearing rescheduled?
I think our prosecutor quit.
Oh,
I'm not sure. Because I think she's probably getting pressured, and she's a really nice person, so I think she probably doesn't like the pressure.
She was sweet. I liked her. I felt bad. I think she got peer pressured, like her friends didn't want to do it.
I think they probably, yeah, I think they piled on.
That's sad.
Lilu says the Zulu tribe speaks Zulu. Okay, let's run through the other one. We're going to run. Marina Del Rey says Zulu is a tribe in Africa.
That's so cool.
Okay, we'll do this really quick and tell me if I'm wrong, okay? Anybody in chat, tell me if I'm wrong. A Adam, B Boy, C Charles, D David, E. Edward, F. Frank, G. George. I can't remember H. Is it Harry? H.
Hector.
Harry? Nope, it's not Hector. Yeah, I think it's Harry. I. Ida. J. John. I think K is King. K. King. L. Lincoln. M. Mary. N. Nora. O. Ocean. P. Paul. Q. I don't know. R. Robin. No, not Robin. R. Robert. Robin. R. Robert. S. Sam. T. Tom. U. Something. What is U?
Umbrella.
That'd be a good one, but that's not it. V. Victor. W. Whoa, I don't know that one either. X. X-ray. Y. Yellow. Z. Zebra. So there were a couple I missed. Dang it. Dang it. I hate that when that happens. Yeah, U and W, I think they were. I'm a Clover says, so okay, so what have I missed? Well, let's start at the beginning for Ima. Marina says, I'll catch you ladies next time. I think the alphabet board, Marina. So yeah, I think our prosecutor quit. Otherwise, she would have been here. So we need a prosecutor.
It's going to be tough finding one here. I think we're all on the defense side, unfortunately.
Maybe I should be the prosecutor.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, that would give me a headache, though. I'd have to really stretch, the imagination.
Have you seen the movie that Al Pacino starred in called Justice for All?
No,
It's
I
really
love Al
good.
Pacino.
So he basically is defending a judge who was caught, who's on trial for like rape or something, and they're in the judge's chamber, and it's just him and Al Pacino, his lawyer, and he admits to it. He's
Oh
like, "Yeah, I
no.
did it," and Al Pacino just went nuts in the courtroom. Like he was like, "My client is guilty AF." And just went nuts. I feel like you're gonna have an Al Pacino moment on the stand.
I'm just reading the comments here. I don't know what we're going to do without a prosecutor. It kind of takes away our whole mock trial.
Yeah, it sucks. Juan Martinez.
Yeah, we do. Awesome. We need Juan Martinez. He was kind of rough, though. I thought he kind of beat up those expert witnesses pretty bad.
Oh,
like I didn't mind the way he was treating Jodi Arias. I didn't mind that as much, but I don't think it's fair how he was treating the expert witnesses.
I loved it. Make them cry, Juan.
They were terrible to the expert witnesses, though. People were really attacking them bad.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, without a prosecutor, we're screwed, you guys.
I guess we won the case.
Yeah, really. They didn't show up, so charges are dismissed. Shenanigan Maker, did you hear that? We already won. Shenanigan Maker says, does no one else hear the demons? Are you getting like an echo or something? Lilu says, you cannot be the prosecution. I could try. I could be a plant, controlled opposition. Is it from the microphones?
think it's where you get headed. Oh, me. Sorry.
I think it's from both of us with our microphones, because when Paula was on the other night, I had to keep clicking on the microphones.
Hey, Cooter, I'm excited to see your live tomorrow.
Yeah, really, that'll be interesting.
That was fun. The last time I was on there. I think I need to leave.
Kathy says we hope it's the mics, or else Brenda needs to get out of the house.
I'm sorry.
Let's click you off for a second and see if the demons disappear. Okay, you guys, I'm talking now. Can you hear any demons? Testing, testing. Do you hear any demons?
Can you hear the demons now?
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
wow.
I'm gonna get off. Yeah,
How
I
did
have
you do
headphones
that?
on and everything. I just unmuted. I guess it's better now. No,
I jumped when you talked.
sorry. I'll
Okay,
be in the background.
now that Brenda's back up, can you hear? Oh, yep, it is. Okay, yeah, we better get rid of the demons.
Yeah. Demon out.
Okay, now can you hear him? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear him now? See, that's a problem with not getting the free microphones and the Star Trek chairs. We have subpar equipment. Oh, okay. Brenda, did you see that comment? It says that that was happening when you were on Cooter's thing too. Aw, how sweet, Shani. Shenanigan Maker, your nickname for me is kind of interesting because it actually rhymes with my real nickname when I was a kid. Kathy Joe says we will do a pay attention to how I'm pronouncing this Coven chant for your protection, Brenda. Well, remember, you guys, seriously, I told you, pray for protection because a lot of people who have been trying to scare us and trying to cause trouble and harm us, they are evil. Like, there's no other word for it. So always pray for protection. And if you go around watching the other stuff, you know, some of those videos, they look interesting. And I know they do look interesting, but just definitely take it in small doses and definitely pray for protection. Brenda says, no more lives for me, not until the Star Trek chair comes in. Yeah, we'll have like, you know, pink sparkles. Shenanigan Maker is asking for the migraine advice. I like pink, Lainey. I like pink. I like lavender too. Lavender's my favorite color. Oh wait, you're talking to Brenda, Brenda. Oh my gosh, I'm a ditz tonight for sure. Cooter Brown says, one creator I won't watch anymore. Brenda says, Thrive Green. Cooter says, Sky Blue. Kitty Fart Style Chairs. Contrary Marge says, take care, back to work. Sorry we were kind of boring tonight, Contrary Marge. But hey, at least you learned the alphabet, right? Shenanigan Maker, you do realize I think we won the trial already, right? That would be one way for the scumbag attackers to keep us from doing a mock trial, to try to scare our prosecutor from prosecuting. Ooh, I bet you're right. Kathy Jo says, I think the chairs zap you if you disagree with their dialogue. Yeah, if you miss your script. If you go off script, then the chair goes zzz, zzz. Lilu says, lay down in a dark room, avoid any light and noise after you go to the pharmacy and get a migraine pack. Wanda says, so get out of the chair. But you know what? One thing we've noticed, well, I won't say it. That would be mean. Free of a Kind says, Lilu, I'm the same and can't make sudden movements either. If I do, I feel like my head will explode from the pain. I use a menthol stick on my forehead to take the edge off until the pain relief kicks in. Kathy Jo says, the money stops when the chair detects your hiney has left the chair. Shenanigan Maker says, I don't like forfeit wins. Well, how about if we still do our opening statement? Because I'm sure you could do a kick butt opening statement, and then I'll do my passionate closing argument. And then I think we should wrap it up with you doing a follow-up closing argument. Like we can split the closing argument time, right? And we can have whatever time we want because this is our courtroom. PJ says, where is Badger? Do you know if she has any more information? Badger will be on Cooter Brown's live chat tomorrow night. I think it's tomorrow night, right, Cooter? And tell us what time. Is it like 7:30? I can't remember. So Cooter Brown is hosting Honey Badger on Saturday night, the 20th of February. Wanda says, Red Rover, calling your shiner over. Anyone? What did Cooter lose? Okay, here it is. Cooter Brown says, yes, tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. That would be great if we had somebody be a prosecutor, but nobody's saying yes. I'll do the prosecution if you guys want. I mean, if nobody else will, I will. I wouldn't make that great of a prosecutor in this case, though. What is going on with Cooter, you guys? I see condolences to Cooter, but I don't see why. What? I'm scrolling. Scrolling. Oh my goodness, Cooter. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That absolutely sucks. You're way too young to have to go through that. Shenanigan Maker says, I have at least 68 Thrive Black labels on each temple right now. Two things, Shenanigan Maker. You have really large temples. And number two, maybe that's your problem. That is terrible, Cooter. Just terrible. Puff Piece says you must have smoke coming off of your head, Shenanigan Maker. Robin says, can we reschedule? Bling is the new black says, I would love to follow anyone in the chat that has channels. We have quite a few, don't we? And just since last Wednesday even, I'm really surprised. I mean, I'm thankful, but surprised. Well, Cooter, we need a prosecutor because I think our prosecutor quit. Gina has a message for Cooter. Cooter Brown, I'm so very sorry for your loss. I've lost both my parents, so I understand the pain. Love and light, sweetheart. Yes, Lilu says court has been adjourned. Paul says, is it normal to wear those patches when pregnant? I certainly hope not. I certainly hope not. Brenda says, hell no. Susie says, no. Yeah, if we're not going to have a prosecution, we're going to have to rethink this whole thing, aren't we? But I'll tell you, just off the top of my head, I think I would keep the trial as focused as possible on the fact that two little girls deserve justice. And you know what? The point to really drive home is who had everything to lose? Robin said I said I would be a DA. Okay, we're back on. Robin, would you like to be the prosecutor? Cooter says, Brenda, I was in your neck of the woods today. Are you talking to Brenda Quid? Shenanigan Maker says through her pain, yes. Gina says, yay. Brenda Quid, who is feeling that maybe Cooter could be a stalker in disguise, says, no way. Whereby, Cooter? Shenanigan Maker says, I didn't just waste hours and hours of billable hours. Well, before the trial, I'm going to have to figure out how to show the other videos somehow. I don't know how. I've tried it so many times and it doesn't work. Wanda says, uh-oh, Robin. Except on this channel, we say, ruh-roh. Don't let the force take you over. LOL, lots of love. Okay, so the trial's back on. Woo, woo. We have a prosecutor. Anybody else want to volunteer to join the prosecution team? Because remember, we have a pretty solid defense team formed. Yeah, it's crickets from Chatter. I think they're pressuring her. Oh, okay. Brenda and Cooter discovered they live in the same area during Cooter's live, and Cooter used to hang out in Brenda's bar. LOL. Lots of love. Where's Perry Mason? We need Perry Mason. Well, she was emailing me just fine and looking forward to tonight, but I do think people are pressuring her. Robin is asking for a continuance. Bling is the New Black says, I finally saw all the SW videos you have been referencing of her with the kids. So disturbing. Wanda says, LOL, lots of love. Robin, denied. Cosmic says, Judge Judy would mop the floor. We have Danielle. She has an actual nail file that can mop the floor. They'll clear out so fast. Evidently, they already have cleared out. It's only 8:52 and I'm yawning. Shenanigan Maker says, ain't no judge like a Danielle judge. Hey. PJ says, are you fasting? No, I'm not fasting. Wanda says, watch out for Robin. She might try for a backdoor plea deal. R-O. What's that? R-O-T-L? Lilu says, we need a topic. Okay, Lilu, name a topic. I agree with you. I'm glad we have a prosecutor. That's cool. Oh, Lilu says R-O-T-F-L, rolling on the floor laughing. You guys and your words, I don't know. Okay, so what's the topic? Shenanigan Maker says, I gave up sex because I know I could keep that one and honor the Lord. Oh, you gave up sex for Lent? Well, if it's premarital sex, isn't that a whole nother discussion? I don't know. I've never heard of anybody giving up sex for Lent. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. Well, actually, I was laughing, so I muted it. I've heard of people giving up, chocolate, cigarettes, gossiping, that kind of thing. I've never heard of anyone giving up sex for Lent. That would explain why you have a migraine, though, right? Cooter says, hey, y'all, I need input on the 35C. Is that what your live chat's going to be on? Is a 35C? Seriously? Oh, that's a good idea. Do you guys want to go through the rest of the letter? Robin says, I gave up wild men. So now she's only with the ones who aren't wild, I guess. If the print don't fit, you must acquit. Brenda says, boo, cooter. PJ says, I gave up sweets and also I'm doing keto. PJ, don't do keto. Shenanigan Maker says, Cooter, hit me up and I'll give you all you need for a 35C. Susie says, I gave up men in general. Uh-oh, I can see the videos they're going to make now. Not only are we, called you-know-whats, but we're also called you-know-whats who don't love men, even though we do. Brenda says, is honey badger actually a person and not a honey badger? She's a honey badger who talks. Cooter says, I'm on the CSEE food diet. I see food. Shenanigan Maker says, Cooter, if you've got a pen, I'll post here. That'll be good, Shenanigan Maker. Then that KK channel can figure out how to make their next video too. Ooh, Robin's had the same man for 30 years. Good. We're going to get the lesson on the 35C, you guys. Listen to this. Shenanigan Maker says, many people call the 35C a motion, which is post-conviction litigation, an appeal of a retrial. Well, a 35C isn't really an appeal, right? Puffy says, I'm pretty sure honey badger is a person and not an actual badger. Cooter says, I have a pen. Brenda says, God bless you, Robin. Shenanigan Maker says, this would not even slightly be an appeal. Exactly. Therefore, not a retrial. Exactly. And they keep talking on those other channels like they're going to start from scratch or something on a 35C. It isn't how it works. In an appeal, Chris would be asking a higher court to review his case, which he is not. Exactly. Thank you. Shenanigan Maker says, with a 35C motion, Chris will be asking for a review of very specific constitutional sized issues from the same court that handled his initial case. That means that it will not be reviewed by the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court. To get the motion rolling, he will need to demonstrate specific justification for a modification of his sentence or conviction. Paula says, honey badger tells it as it is. She's been attacked enough, so it brings out that attack mode. Shenanigan Maker says, a 35C motion is a super complex and very, very difficult to win. He will be asking the court to review his rights as a U.S. citizen and how they pertain to how his case was handled unjustly. This is called post-conviction relief. The reason for a 35C is to prove to the same court all the ways that he was denied his constitutional rights to a fair trial and sentence. Again, please keep in mind, this is not an appeal. Chris waived his rights to an appeal or a retrial with his plea agreement, not to mention his time to file has already come and gone. Well, on many of the charges or on many of the convictions. So yeah, he's screwed. These are two very different proceedings. Actually, there are a couple different options. An appeal, motion for a new trial, motion for reconsideration, and a federal writ of habeas corpus. Similar to a 35C, but in federal court, but people seem to always put them all into the same bucket and refer to them as one and the same. And just for funsies, Chris will also have a chance to appeal a denial of his 35C, just in case some of you shiners were getting too excited. And just to bust a couple more bubbles, murder is a Class 1 felony, therefore there is no time limit for filing a 35C with a Class 1 felony. Exactly. There's no time limit. However, on the lesser convictions, there is a time limit, and he's missed those. And those specific terms in his sentencing pretty much mean he's behind bars for the rest of his life, no matter what happens with the other one. And they are made up of a very limiting list of issues that Chris will be able to raise under Rule 35C. Cooter says he was thinking that we could do the paperwork for CW. Well, there's a problem with that, Cooter. That's called practicing law. Shenanigan maker. Significant changes in the law. That there has been a significant change in law, whether substantive or procedural, applied in the process leading to applicant's conviction or sentence where sufficient reason exists to allow retroactive application of the changed legal standard. Number 2, constitutional violations in the statute or underlying the conviction or sentencing. That the conviction was obtained or sentence imposed in violation of the Constitution of the United States. I was wondering about that, Shenanigan maker. If it's true that he honestly believed that he was going to be put to death if he went to trial, where does that fit in, right? Number 3, lack of jurisdiction by the trial court that heard the case, convicted under a statute that is in violation of the Constitution of the United States or the Constitution of the state in which judgment was rendered, or that the conduct for which the applicant was prosecuted is constitutionally protected. Cooter, that would be practicing law. Number 4, newly discovered evidence that there exists evidence of material facts which were not, and in the exercise of due diligence, could not have been theretofore presented and heard in the proceedings leading to conviction and sentence, and that now require vacation of the conviction or sentencing. Number 5, any ground or any other grounds, quote, properly the basis for collateral attack. Number 6, claims that the sentence has been fully served for meritorious claims challenging the legality of custody or restraint based upon a judgment of conviction, including claims that a sentence has been fully served or that there has been unlawful revocation of parole or probation or conditional release. Cooter, I know he is, and I wonder why, but you're not a lawyer, so you cannot practice law. Shenanigan maker. Chris does have very weighted grounds for this to actually get him back into the courtroom, although much more difficult to see a different outcome, even more so than an appeal. Lainey says, wow, Shan can type super fast. If you haven't noticed, Lainey, I think she might be like the smartest one here. Seriously. Even with a migraine, look at her go. I cannot read as fast as she can type. Kathy Jo says, well, now we know why you have a migraine, Shenanigan maker. All that info wanted to get out. You'll feel better now. Paul says we should get that guy Mark. Tell us what's in your heart. I thought it was cute when he gave the example of the Roman fighters, the guy fighting the what was it? The guy fighting the lions or something, I can't remember. Whatever it was, even he realized that it probably wasn't a good thing to say. Susie says, I'm struggling to type. Got nails on, one finger typing. That's why Danielle isn't typing right now, because she's filing her nails, getting ready for the trial. Oh, here's more. This concept is responsible for all the procedures that guarantee a fair trial, no matter who you are. There are very valid constitutional rights violated that Chris, ignorant of his own rights, was not made aware of, which would also fall into ineffective assistance of counsel. I could go on, but just thought I'd clear this up. Yeah, I appreciate what you just did, Shenanigan Maker, because I think if somebody really, took some time and really read through it all, carefully, that they would see that a lot of what we're being told by some of the other channels is not at all how it works. I had one guy tell me that he knows how it works because he had people who were lawyers tell him how it works. I thought, oh, okay. Shenanigan Maker says, okay, that's all I got. Do you guys want to read the rest of that letter or no? If you do, I'll find it. Wench ain't I so funny says, well, CW should have asked for a lawyer. I think that is the understatement of this entire case. Okay, see, yes letter, sure. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find it. I mean, I know I can. It'll just take me a minute here. Okay, I found it. Now I'm going to try to figure out where I was when I stopped reading it. Okay, this was the last sentence I read. So every time we had a cookout, his mom and sister were very quiet and distant. We weren't accepted. They made that known. So forward to engagement party. Shannon and I shopped for food, wine, etc. Spent a lot. Jamie, Chris's sister, wanted all the invitations so she could help. So Shannon told me, Mom, Jamie wants to help. Send of the invitations. What do you think? She is accepting me. I'm going to let her do it. So this mom and sister prepped food and cross-contaminated everything. So Shannon couldn't eat any of it. Gluten-free, nothing. Everything was made with gluten. So thank God I made lots of food I brought. At least my daughter could eat. So as the night went on, Shanann and I went to the bathroom and Shannon told me, Mom, I had like 80 invites and only immediate family came. So Shannon called people the next day to learn that they never received an invitation. Shannon was devastated. I'm going to try to figure out here how to mute this really quick, and I'll be right back, I promise. Hey guys, I'm back. No, that was not a scumbag attacker, Miss CD. That was cute. Okay, so the part that I just read, I learned something from Cindy Watts. She said that she had never heard anything at all about any cross-contamination of the food until after the tragedy. She said she had no idea that she was being accused of cross-contaminating the food. And then I've heard from somebody who was at that party where supposedly there were 80 people invited, but only 31 showed up. And they insist that that was held at a place that wouldn't have even held 80 people and that there were no empty chairs or empty place settings. So let's dig into the deeper issue here, or maybe the more obvious issue, I guess, in my opinion. Why, after the tragedy, why do you think that there was so much written about Cindy Watts trying to make Cindy Watts look bad? Gina says, did she really have lots of friends outside of her MLM endeavors? I don't believe she did. I don't believe she did at all. Paul says she lost all her friends, quote, lost all her friends. But I wonder if she ever had any in the first place. I think Daisy Days and Miss CD just nailed it. I think they did not want the police to be interviewing Cindy Watts. Just imagine how that interview would have gone. Tell me about your daughter-in-law. Well, I think she had some problems. I think she had some serious mental health problems. I think she was on disability. I think she was being treated for serious mental health problems. I don't think she was able to be alone with the children. I think the children were not safe. She used to give the children medicine every night at bedtime, and the children had to sleep 12 hours in a locked bedroom. She claimed they were sick all the time, like every few weeks. And for some weird reason, both kids were sick at the same time all the time. And for some weird reason, when other people were living with them, the kids were never sick. I think she was medically abusing my grandchildren. You see what I mean? Are they going to want the police to hear all that? I don't think so. Gina says, did she have celiac disease? Or was it gluten sensitivity intolerance? Well, she claimed to have both. Paul says, Ronnie said she was bipolar and a narcissist. I agree with Ronnie. Shenanigan Maker says, LOL, lots of love. They hate being proven wrong. Miss CD says, yep. Wench, ain't I so funny, says she. Lilu says, Shenanigan Maker, are you in agreement with Heather? Who's Heather? Susie says, claim to have everything. Miss CD says she had everything. You know, if you're into statistics and you look up any one of the diseases that she claimed to have, the actual incident rate is very, very few, very small, very, very few people, okay? I don't know, 3%, 5%, whatever, right? Okay, then, I don't know if I can explain this right, but if you have some sort of illness that only 3% of the population ever gets, okay? And then you're claiming a second one that only 3 or 4 or 5% of the population ever gets. And then you're claiming another one that only 3 or 4 or 5% of the population ever gets. Do you realize that the statistical likelihood of you having all three, and I'm only saying 3, there were many more than that, the statistical likelihood of you actually having all 3 is 0. Did you know that? 0. Did you know the statistical likelihood of 2 children both having familial Mediterranean fever when they weren't even in the risk group, in my opinion, is 0. Asthma? I don't think so. And I'm sorry, if your children have asthma, you don't have to shop for a doctor for 2 years straight with 2 small children in tow to try to convince them that your child has asthma. And the idea that both children would have been diagnosed on the same day with asthma, hello, warning. Wanda says, Paul, do you mean Sjogren's? Miss CD says, and then both of your kids have everything wrong with them. Curious C says, watch Gypsy Rose. It is creepy, the similarities. Cosmo says, is there any health challenge she didn't have? Well, Jeremy Lindstrom said in an interview that all she had to do was see a commercial for some sort of, disease that she hadn't heard of before, and she would start claiming she had that one too. Gina says, how did she eat all those Thrive bars? Surely they were filled with gluten ingredients. Well, I think she was gluten intolerant on demand, right? I think if she wanted to order her mother-in-law around about what she could have in her house, then she was gluten intolerant. I think if she wanted attention, or if she thought it was cool, or if she wanted to join a gluten intolerant Facebook group to try to push her Band-Aids, then she was gluten intolerant. Lilu says, Shenanigan Maker has lots to say. Check her out when you can. If you want to, thumbs up. She's all about the law and procedure too. Makes sense so far. Lainey says, control. Exactly. That's exactly right. And attention. Shenanigan Maker says, oh, awesome. I am so over all the theories and fake news. That's the part that irritates me about this case. I'm not the only person who watched the video of poor little Bella getting water sprayed in her face and said to myself, that's sick. I'm not the only person who saw Bella start crying and her mother laughing. The constant, like, I would call it antagonizing Bella, right? Antagonizing her. Not just letting her be, not letting her hide or underneath the chair because she didn't want to play that stupid game. She had to go after her and antagonize her. And then sure enough, she started crying. And then she's like, oh, ha, ha, because she had it so rough because she had, children. Wanda says, Sjogren's is serious dry eyes. You can't produce tears. They use drops constantly, can't wear contacts. Worst cases, it affects your organs. Her autopsy was clear. She was healthy. Lilu, I don't know who is not talking about theories, just sticking to the facts. I missed it. And when I scroll up, I don't see it. So back to that letter. I think it's interesting that anything at all would have been mentioned of Cindy Watts. And I agree with you guys. I think that they probably didn't want the police talking with the Watts. Because I think had Cindy Watts talked to the police, I think they would have learned a lot of information about Christopher Watts' wife and her behavior. Exactly. I agree with you, Mary. She always seemed overwhelmed when her girls were just acting like kids. And they weren't even acting like kids necessarily. They seemed very passive and docile, really, kind of waiting for their next cue. Susie says they want no one talking, period. Oh, I think they want people talking, but I think they want people to be talking the talking points that they provide, that Christopher Watts' wife was successful, that she was hardworking, all that. Oh, Heather. Okay, got it. So the thing is the unmurdered channel Heather. And is that the Blair person? That her name's Heather, but she went by the name Blair, I think. Yes, Miss CD says she was always calling her kids crazy and monsters. Paul says there's a brilliant video on Jay's channel about when she was diagnosed with lupus. That's where I saw all the posts about Sjogren's. Yeah, I watched that video, Paul. There were a couple of things that were not correct in that video, which I thought was interesting because they have the Facebook stuff right there. A couple of things that were not correct. Minor, but I was just kind of shocked. So I had the urge to, send her an email with all the corrections, and then I thought, oh, screw it. So what? Lilu says, yes, Blair equals Heather. She has short videos. Usually there are a few on there. Gina says it's ridiculous she pitched a fit. Exactly. Exactly. And Cindy sent me photos of the food that they prepared, and it was not all gluten. I have the pictures in my emails. They were not all gluten. There were cupcakes. There were really pretty little cupcakes. Okay, so maybe she couldn't have a cupcake. Boo hoo. But there were plenty of fruits. There was like a deli meat spread. There was plenty there for her to eat based on the photos that Cindy sent me of the food that her and Jamie prepared. Really, Kathy Jo says one of the daily suggested activities for Thrive promoters is to find people on Facebook that are complaining about health issues and offer Thrive as a solution. It's number 3 on the to-do list. You have got to be kidding me. We've been saying that all along, but that's actually what they're told to do? Are you kidding me, Kathy Jo? Seriously? And the question begs, what's number 1? What's number 2? Let's see that to-do list. Gina says, then just pass on the cupcakes, you know? Or better yet, wait till everyone leaves and then enjoy one because you know damn well you're not gluten intolerant. Wanda says, Kathy's support groups are hit up constantly. It's gross. People get kicked out a lot. Kathy Jo says, I can email it to you. Excellent. Please do. Please do. Lainey says, do you have my email address, Kathy? Do you know it? Lainey says, this is huge. Jim says, so others shouldn't eat gluten because she doesn't want to. Yeah, really, exactly. Gina says, exactly. Paul says, same here, and she posted about everything. Lilu says, Jim, it's all about me, you know? Mary says, if I'm going to a party, I want a cupcake. You're cute, Mary. Exactly. Why call it a party if you're not going to have cupcakes, right? But they had really, really pretty cupcake trees, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, the racks where you have the cupcakes in these little spaces lined up. It was really pretty. It looked really nice. Red Raider says it blows my mind that she was pregnant again. Puffy says, why make a cookie video if you're gluten intolerant? Cosmo says, shameless. Lainey says, someone on here has sent to MM. I don't know what that means. Lilu, it's on SW Facebook, but there's a smiley face sticker over Bella Booty now. Oh, really? So they probably saw people talking about it and said, oh, we better cover that up. Cosmic says she just needed more gifts and got pissed. I think she was embarrassed because she only had one friend show up. According to the Watts, there were 31 invitations, 26 were family members, and 5 were friends. None of the friends are SVP'd, so Jamie picked up the phone and called them before the party, which is what you do. And 4 of the 5 said they had other plans. Gina says, maybe Cindy and Jamie were just an outlet for her frustration. I think it's more than that. I don't think she wanted them at the wedding at all, and I think she made damn sure they didn't feel welcome to attend. Firing the flower girl? Hello. Paul says, I agree, Cosmo. I need more attention. Puppy says, I agree, Wanda. Couldn't keep up with her own rubbish. On the Lake says, Christmas cookie video. We never saw a baked cookie. Miss CD says, according to SW, she lost friends because they didn't believe she had health challenges. I don't think she had friends to begin with. And if she did have any, I think it was probably because they could tell that her health challenges were not physical. Just my opinion. I agree with Jeremy Lindstrom, who has the same opinion. Yes, Lilu, I think I did. I think it was, I don't know, I got a bunch of emails. I think it was in there. Cosmic, didn't she have like 2 or 3 parties? I've heard people say she had 5 even. I don't know how that could be because she was only there for a short time before the wedding. Paul says, I have other plans, putting my head in an onion. Yeah, that's like when a guy asks you out and you say, oh, I'm sorry, I have other plans. And then you tell your friends about it and say, yeah, I'm going to condition my hair. Miss Marple says, what do you think the forward projection of all that includes yourself? Okay, Kathy Jo says, emailed. Puffy's, I think, makes a really good point here. I think she was envious of Cindy and her daughter's relationship. It sounds like SW and Sandy didn't get on so well. There's more. She was actually close to Cindy for 5.5 years. I think that she was very close to Cindy, and I think that the 2 times they had problems just so happened to be right before family get-togethers where both sides of the family would be there. And I think she did not want Chris's family to necessarily be anywhere where her family was gathered. Puff P says, how many profiles are commenting with today, Nora? Paul says, what happened the day Sandy left the basement for good? I'd love to know. According to Cindy, they had a fight. Shanann and her mother had a big fight. And according to Cindy, Shanann begged her father to stay and not to go with her mother, who she, according to Cindy, booted out. Okay, I'm going to check my email now. Let's see here. Where do I go? Wait, not there. Ah! Where's my email? Oh, come on. Where is it? There it is. Oh, this is going to be interesting. 3 attachments. Okay, I won't say any names about which MLM because this is just one of the many MLMs that Christopher Watt's wife had signed up for. But get this. Oh, you know what, you guys? To heck with that letter we were reading. This is interesting. Oh, my goodness. This says, the most important thing to remember is to be yourself. Did you guys hear what I just said? The very first thing says, the most important thing to remember is to be yourself. Wow. It says you want people to talk to you, show interest in their lives. It doesn't have to be all about, and then it mentions the MLM name all of the time. Pay attention to what people are complaining about and offer the MLM stuff as the solution. Listen for these complaints during conversations and look for them while scrolling social media. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Use the events feature on Facebook to wish people a happy birthday, even if you don't know them. Ah ha ha ha. Did you hear what I just read? Be yourself. Pay attention to what people are complaining about. Wish people happy birthday on social media, even if you don't know them. Wow. I'm a Clover says, so change your name and pick up some help challenges to help with scrolling social media. Scrolling social media? Pay attention to what they're complaining about? Oh, shocking. This is shocking. Not surprising, but it is shocking. And then it says for follow-ups, check in to make sure they are doing well. Send product updates as they are released. To your auto ship customers, check in before their auto ship date and then say thank you after. To the free accounts, send the this is my success video or whatever stories from the fan page, update on promos, blah, blah, blah. Oh, samplers who haven't started yet, make sure they're on your calendar. Wow. Social media posts. The purpose of posting 3 times on social media is to grow your audience and to show your MLM life. Posting consistently 3 times per day helps your posts be seen by more people. Facebook Lives are a great way to grow your audience. Your Facebook Instagram story is another great way to grow your audience. Use pictures to tell your story. Wow. Oh my goodness, here's a good one. Get your skeptics, samplers who have concerns, samplers on day 3 of their mini experience, those interested in hearing more about the business, and new promoters on a 3-way call with a leader. Allow the leader to validate the product, the business, and you. If the customer is unwilling or unable to get on a call, use the 3-way Facebook Messenger chat instead. Wow. Now I'm looking at the second attachment. Product information. Okay, it talks all about appetite management, not suppression, management. Okay, here's the training guide. Oh, this is interesting. The products are not intended to help, treat, cure, mitigate, or prevent any type of disease or disorder. What does this mean? You cannot state or imply verbally or in writing that our products have helped you or anyone else with any type of disease or disorder. This is considered a medical drug claim. So, isn't that interesting, since we know from people saying that they actually had to change their phone number because she wouldn't leave them alone, that she was telling people that she was cured, and she was telling people she was in remission because of those products. Interesting. Well, I don't know how on earth, Cosmo says MLM secrets are out now. I don't know how on earth anybody cannot see it, because all you have to do is take a look at the statistics. 99.9% of the people who sign up for a multi-level marketing company that is product-based, 99.9% fail to ever make a penny. Jolo makes a good point. How did she ever find time to perfectly hard boil those 18 eggs a week? Crystal says, every time I come across you, you're talking about products, girl. Bye. The ingredients are listed on the bottom left corner. Okay. Bottom left. This product contains something, forcedline 95, chlorogenic acid, green coffee, something or other, green tea, white willow bark, beta hydro, blah, 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 blah. Aloe vera? You're ingesting aloe vera? Forcedline and blah, blah are registered trademarks. Okay. So that's something you want to put into your body if you're pregnant, right? Puff Piece says, I would say her houseboy actually boiled those eggs. Susie says, that's what I said ages ago. They should have been sued, and that's put people at major risk that are on medication. Miss CD says, forcedline is for weight management. Kathy Jo says, those all sound healthy, right? Yeah, I wonder what the research is on the impact to a fetus. I don't know. That's pretty disturbing stuff, if you ask me. Well, they say appetite management, I think is what it was. I'm going to mute for just a second. I'm going to go get a glass of water. I'll be right back. I'm back. They weren't all chunky. The friend from Hawaii was thin. I agree, Wanda. Throw it in a blender. Bonking? I thought it was doinking. CW was running, working out, and eating clean. What do you think about those weekend getaways that they called business trips? Since when does a sales training weekend constitute as a business trip? I think so too, Mary. I think it's a way to keep them busy so that maybe they don't hang out with other people who point out that maybe what they're doing isn't a good idea. Puff Piece says the SW must have felt insecure seeing her husband get all fit and buff. Here's the thing though, I don't know if you guys know this, but when he was 18, he moved out of the house, right? He got his own place. He went to that NASCAR training thing. He went to the gym all the time. He and his buddies would go to the gym all the time after work. Like sometimes every day of the week, he'd be going to the gym after work, right? He was already fit when he met her. Wanda says the trips are all a part of brainwashing. I agree. Lulu says she was party animal, tried to disguise it as business trips. I think that she had a very immature emotional age. So I think those little getaway weekends were like slumber parties for the girl who never had slumber parties type of thing. He got soft when she wanted him to spend more time with her. What one of the ex-girlfriends said was that she didn't want him going to the gym. She wanted him to cancel his gym membership because she was afraid he would run into one of his ex-girlfriends. Yes, Mary said, wasn't it said that he was too thin? She said that. I asked Cindy if she had a weight issue, and she said yes. She always had a weight issue going on. Whoa, 90 pictures of her drinking? Really? I did a video called Drink Much, I think it was, and I had quite a few pictures, but I didn't know there were that many. Wow. Emma Clover is pointing out something that I've noticed, wondering if perhaps Christopher Watt's wife felt less than Meacham. I think she did. There was another one besides that one, Ima, when she was in her kitchen and she was kind of like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. She wasn't a drinker. She wasn't a drinker because her MLM friend said so, I guess. So that was good enough for the investigators. Puff P says that she saw a video where SW said she had 3 drinks since Bella was born. Sure. Well, I don't know. Maybe the video was when Bella was a week old or something. Yeah, I don't believe that at all because I think she was definitely focused on drinking. I'm the same way. I'm a Clover. Her videos say a lot. Kathy Jo says 3 drinks per hour. I thought it was interesting how she was taking a picture of Christopher Watts in her friend's kitchen, holding a beer and holding a mixed drink, and claiming they were both for him. Yeah, right. I know all the guys I know who are beer drinkers love chasing it down with a mixed drink, right? But she was pregnant at the time, so I imagine that was her go-to default mode. Oh yeah, that's Chris drinking. Paula says she said she likes wine, shots of vodka, and lemon drops. Jim Holt makes a very important point, and I have seen this myself where I'm like, wait a minute. She couldn't keep her own lies straight. I believe Cindy Watts when I spoke with her and in that one video, and she said that her daughter-in-law told her over and over and over again, Christmas, Easter, the whole bit, that Cece was allergic to chocolate. And then when Cece ate all those chocolate kisses, her daughter-in-law stood there laughing, thought it was funny. And Cindy didn't say anything, but she said she knew right then and there that she had been lying to her all along. Another time she said that Bella was diagnosed with familial Mediterranean fever. She posted it on Facebook, and then 3 months later she posted that the specialists were leaning toward that diagnosis. One time she said she had 3 kids, back long before she said she was pregnant. Exactly. She always had a drink in her hand, didn't she? Good point, Crystal. The truth is always revealed. That's why Cece went for the chocolate. Shenanigan Maker said Meacham was much bigger than Shanann. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Meacham was a lot smaller than Shanann. Plus, you guys, I don't think you see her size because I don't know how you do it with videos and stuff, but there are pictures of her where it isn't at all how she looked like in some of the videos. Right, you're right. The shiners say that it's okay to sit in the sun if you have lupus. And then they educate you on how there are 5 different kinds of lupus and blah, blah, blah. So, of course, she once again had the rare one, right? As if the shiners know. Mary says, complaining about the kids being hyper and Bella has a bag of marshmallows in her hand. LOL. Miss CD says there are 2 types of lupus. Well, I've had shiners tell me there are 5. And that she had the rarest one of all. Yes, Cosmo, in the baking video. Both girls got chocolate chips. Dolo says you could see her seething when Meacham was outshining her. Miss CD says, nope, 2. Well, like everything else with this case, Miss CD, I think people just kind of make it up as they go along. And you know, the bottom line, so what if she had a big butt, right? Big deal. Not a big deal. But what was it about her that she seemed to think that she had to present herself as if she was perfect? And look at after her death, you know, that mask is still expected to be in place. Emma Clover's friend had her checking for lines on her butt. Well, it doesn't even matter, you know, it doesn't matter. But here's the thing. If you're going to be making videos saying, you know, accept yourself and all that, right? Then live it, right? I just searched my computer for that butt picture. I was going to put it up on the screen just to show you what I'm talking about. It's a deeper issue. It's a deeper issue to be having to pretend that you're someone you're not, and to also be placing such value on your appearance that you're, whatever you do, whatever you call it, photoshopping and all that crap, right? And again, it follows through after her death. You know that photo that I used on the videos? That photo was her expression in probably 90% of her videos. The I'm so excited expression, that's exactly what she looked like. And people say, why are you using a picture that makes her look crazy? It's like, if they think that picture makes her look crazy, that's her expression all the time in her videos. So instead of maybe looking at that expression honestly and wondering, did she have some issues? They're saying, don't use a video that makes her, what? So they're denying her existence even after her death. Even after the tragedy, it's like they're denying her very existence. Daisy Days makes a good point. All it's going to take is one MLM, quote unquote, friend to come out and spill the beans, and the floodgates will open. I think one social worker coming forward would be another way that the floodgates will open. Paul says, you were right about the limited vocabulary. There is a video showing off an hotel room, and idiot boy saying, "What's up?" Lila says, makes me flippin' sick. Can't stand liars. OMG. Crystal says, denying who she really was. Right, exactly. You know, people will say, oh, is bashing a murder victim. No, I'm not. Oh, is, somehow trying to trash her reputation. No, I'm not. We're actually talking about her reputation. We're actually talking about what she did and what she said. We're not bashing anybody. We're presenting what we see and saying, ouch, there are some warning flags here. Why on earth weren't Bella and Cece protected? Very immature, Miss CD, I agree. Very immature. As if like a 12-year-old almost, right? And nothing against 12-year-olds, but it's like she stopped maturing at age 12. And, earlier I said that those weekend, sales training, quote unquote, they were like the slumber parties that maybe she never got invited to. Paula says she was a hot mess. She needed attention, even in videos, saying, can y'all see me and hear me? Throw up a heart in chat if you can see me. And if you look at her Facebook stuff, she had very few people involved, very few people watching, very few people ever hitting like. Miss Marple says she is the person who showed us who she is. Imagine the messages that she was receiving in her lifetime. Subliminal or not, consciously or not, right? Directly or not. Cindy told me a story about how when they went to the zoo, when they got back to the house, because she had to have Chris push her around in a wheelchair because she took the baby right after Cece was born to the zoo for the day. And she said that people were posting, what do you think you're doing? Why would you take a newborn baby to the zoo? And she became very upset. And I mean, she was very upset, crying, angry, upset. And she called her mother and she stayed on the phone with her mother. She deleted whatever from the social media and never spoke of it again. Exactly, Paula. She had the same 8 people in her chat most of the time. Lilu says, I bet if CW said hi to Christina, she'd blow a gasket. I bet you're right. Lilu says 5 to 8 people, Paula. Sunny says, I have southern ears. When I first heard you say, come jump up on the panel. Susie says, wait, what? A wheelchair? Yeah. Ronnie and Cindy were taking Bella to the zoo along with their son, Chris, when Cece was born. And she demanded that she go along with the baby. But of course, she just got out of the hospital. So they got a wheelchair, and Christopher Watts pushed her all around the zoo all day in a wheelchair. Yeah. Bling is the new black says there is one video, I believe it's the cannoli video, where someone is actively taunting her on Facebook Live. And you can tell she is really pissed. I'm a Clover says Honey Badger does a good impression of your accent, Honey Badger is doing impressions of me? Seriously? Mary says when she'd live stream, everyone would cringe, even fellow Thrivers. Crystal says I am offended for people in wheelchairs. Paula says she even had a stalker in one video. Well, I have a feeling she had very few people watching. I also have a feeling she had very few people who were actually buying any product. Lilu says, not you, Chris. There are other Chris's on here. Hey, Kevin. She did this constantly in front of her husband. She mocked him and publicly shamed him. She knew he was shy, called him a weirdo. Just reverse the roles, too. Can you imagine if a guy got up there and said, not you, there are many others on here with your name, and then started saying hi to a bunch of other women, and then mocking his wife and publicly shaming his wife, and then calling his wife a weirdo? How difficult would it be for us to say, wow, that guy's really abusive? Her best customer was, that's perfect. I love it. On the Lake says she just threw out names when she was on a live. Somebody said that she was using the name of some guy who went to school at a different high school than she attended, but at the same time that she was in high school. And that guy actually never knew her, never talked to her, but she was using his name. Paula says she got really hot too with that stalker. She almost lost it. Cosmic says, I've heard it may have been NK watching and sending her evil emojis. I highly doubt NK would spend her time, seriously, at all. Puffy says, Chris better get me my wine. He does whatever I tell him. Yeah, all the names in the tub for a draw. Her lives that really creeped me out were the ones where she couldn't remember what was wrong with the kids. She was like, yeah, we were in the emergency room. She couldn't remember what one of them had. She said, oh, she'll just have to get through it. And then another time she did a live and she's like, yeah, we had to go to the doctors, and she couldn't remember why. And then she's like, yeah, it was just a follow up because they had the flu a couple weeks ago. The checker game was very disturbing. I agree with Paula. Why would NK have been jealous of SW? Seriously. She had an education, she had a career, she had a lot of fun friends. Wanda says, "Who's the winner? Me, myself, and I." Stan Cynical says she couldn't remember what a self-cleaning oven is. Onion? Miss Marple said, "This story is so tragic. I wish people who were aware of the situation had stepped up." Broken Dreams says, "NK wasn't jealous of SW." Lilu says she spoke of her in a disgusted way. Puff Piece, "We were in the emergency room all night. They're not cooperating this morning, the awful evil monsters." Yeah, I think that's the one where Chris was running the shower to help Cece breathe steam. Baloney. I'll say it. I haven't said it in a while. Bullshit. This whole idea that you take an asthma child and run a steam shower, that's like 30, 40 years ago that people used to think that worked. That isn't what you do if your child is asthmatic. That whole thing is just bullshit. Exactly, Paula. I've never taken a child back to the doctor for a follow-up on having the flu a week or two earlier. That's ridiculous. Dolo says, "Anybody remember the drawing SW had for a $25 bill?" What? Are you kidding? I haven't seen that one. Quote, "Who wouldn't want to win a $25 bill?" Oh my goodness. Miss CD says, "That's for croup." Well, if your child has asthma and has croup on top of it, you're not doing the hot shower thing. I'll say it that way. Well, it makes me wonder, was she held in the shower if she had a cough? Who knows? Paul, that's one of the observations I had right off the bat. Where was the refrigerator art? Two kids in daycare full time, and there wasn't any refrigerator art? Oh, Shenanigan Maker said, "Remember when she did the drawing for the iPad?" Well, first, Country Marge said the people that won were fake. Shenanigan Maker said, "Remember when she did the drawing for the iPad and won it herself?" Talk about tacky. I'm laughing at the one up higher. Hold on. Country Marge says, "Wow, Bob Smith won again. LOL. Lots of love." Margaret says, "Cindy told SW's mom that she could not see that her daughter loves her son. Cindy could see right away that SW was not very nice to CW." Uh-oh, what's going on? Melissa says, "Everyone hear the breaking information?" What's going on, Melissa? There's the link, Melissa, if you want to hop up and tell us the breaking information. We're all waiting for Melissa. Here she is. Hi, Melissa. What's up?
Hi. Okay. So I don't know how valid the information is because, like everyone, I'm just getting this stuff from groups. But it was just posted that um it was like a whole list of what's been posted, and it started with Lana is Kelly's cousin, and Kelly's cousin is a close friend of Jamie. I don't know how credible that is. But KK got bumped off Chris Watts's visitor list. She was removed, so she's no longer in contact with him. Um, Ronnie is back in rehab, and Jamie and Chris had a Zoom chat the other day, and it got so violent and had to get cut off because she was freaking out because she felt Chris didn't care that his dad was back in rehab, and she was blaming him for it. So the prison had to just cut it off because it got so bad. Right now, currently, Jennifer from J for J and Lana are in Colorado, like tonight. Don't know what for. And then Chris was supposed to be transferred back to Dodge, but the DA and the warden got a tip that there'd be like some kind of ambush or a hit. So now he has to stay in that place. He doesn't want to move, but they're not moving him back as of now. And that he doesn't want contact with anybody or anything. And he does not want the 35C.
Well, you know what? I believe every bit of this, and I'll tell you why. Because I was in direct contact with Cindy when that Kelly and Shannon and KK all hopped on board all of a sudden. And remember that Mark guy? That
Mark Giuseppe, whatever.
Gillespie, yeah, Gillespie. He found a lawyer for them who was offering to help within the same couple of days that I was working with a lawyer who was going to be giving us an answer within a couple, 3 days. They were getting the interest of lawyers wanting to learn more, wanting to find out about actually taking on the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
That on a Thursday afternoon, Cindy and I talked for like 3 hours on the phone one afternoon. And the next day she called me out of the blue and said, I just want to say thank you. And it was really creepy. We only talked for a couple minutes. I got off the phone. I was in the middle of stuff. And I just thought to myself, that was creepy. What's up? You know, something was up because we had talked for 3 hours, right? The day before.
Right.
Like, why out of the blue did she pick up the phone and say, I just want to say thank you? And and she said a couple of other things too that just, it stood out. Okay. And then I'm talking probably even while the phone calls were taking place, Shannon, Kelly, and KK were all jumping on YouTube. And I sent Cindy an email and I said, what the heck is going on? And, you know, hindsight's 2020. I look back now and I see it's interesting that as soon as actual licensed practicing lawyers in Colorado were either saying yes, as in Mark's case, or considering, and there were others too. I know of another person who was working with another lawyer about taking the case. As soon as it looked like, because Mark's lawyer, the guy that he was working with, said yes, that he would take the case pro bono, meaning they didn't have to worry about how they were going to pay for it, right? As soon as that news came, on like that would have been Mark on a Wednesday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, me on Thursday. On Friday, it all hit the fan. And all of a sudden, these people who are closely connected to Jamie and who have been closely connected to Jamie starting back in 2018, all of a sudden jumped on YouTube and totally made it impossible for any decent lawyer to want to take this case.
You
Okay.
have said that, and I've struggled with accepting that, and I questioned you about it more and more, but it seems like it might be lining up.
Yes. Yes. And I'll tell you something else. Mark was calling Ronnie on a daily basis. Ronnie and Mark got along really good. Ronnie trusted Mark. Okay. Cindy has told me over and over again I'm the only person she can trust with any of this social media crap. She has said it for a couple of years. And I'll tell you the difference because I did not contact Cindy. Cindy contacted me. And I've never been like, oh, I love Cindy Watts, but I have been adamant about how they shouldn't be getting harassed.
Mm-hmm.
She reached out and she and Ronnie sent me chocolate covered strawberries.
Aw.
Thank you. Because I think I did like a Mother's Day video or something. But the other people she's been in contact with reach out to her and try to talk to her about how great they are and how much they care and all this other crap, right? I didn't. Like, I didn't. I just did my thing, and she and Ronnie reached out to me. So she knows that there was no, like, ulterior motive or whatever.
Right.
And also, like, Cindy has told me a lot of things that I have never said. And I think that over time, she knows that I never would, that, certain words are her own to say, not up to me to say for her. And I'll tell you, I really wish she would talk because she has a lot to say. And I think if people heard what Cindy has to say, that it would definitely help people understand what the heck has been going on. But so I do know too that, like, Jamie will say to Cindy, just stay off YouTube, don't watch this, don't watch that, don't do this, don't do that. And I think Ronnie and Cindy both trust Jamie with whatever she tells them to do. I think what happened is that Jamie caught wind that this Mark Gillespie, who her dad trusted, and this Miss Mensa, who her mom trusted, were both actually, because Ronnie and Cindy both were on the speakerphone the month earlier when they asked me to try to find someone to help their son. I think that Jamie kept her ear close to hear what was going on. And as soon as Mark and I both were lining up help, I think Jamie caught wind of it. And I think she contacted Kim, KK. I think she contacted Kelly. I think she contacted, the other one was Shannon. And I think they jumped. And I'll tell you something else. Jamie showed up in a live chat one time. There's one particular channel that would have mass reporting parties to try to shut down my channel. They would say the most terrible things. They lied about me so much. And they would send literally, some mornings I would have over 100 comments of really nasty comments posted on the channel. They were just really evil, mean, icky people. And, part of the whole scumbag attacker thing that I talk about. And they were actively engaged with some really crappy attack videos and telling people to contact my employer, just really crappy stuff. Jamie appeared one time right in the middle of one of their live chats, texting to that channel creator, texting to his phone. And I said to Cindy, why does she have his phone number? Why is she in contact with him? And she basically threw me under the bus when she did it. She's like, my mom isn't talking to Miss Mensa, blah, 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 blah. Well, bullshit. Cindy and I were talking right along. So, why would she try to throw me under the bus like that, right? And so, I haven't trusted Jamie since. Even before that. There was another time that Cindy said that Jamie wanted to talk to me, that Jamie really wanted to talk to me. Jamie wanted, and blah, blah, blah. And so she gave me Jamie's phone number and asked me to call her. And I said, well, if Jamie wants to talk to me, she can call me, And she's like, well, call her. I want you and Jamie to talk, da, 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 da. And so finally I thought, and I went ahead and called her. She was absolutely rude when I spoke with her. And it was a very short, rude. And this whole time I'm hearing from Cindy how much Jamie's supposedly saying to Cindy that she wants to talk to me. Okay. I didn't just, I had no interest in talking with her because I was already kind of doubting whatever her role was in all of that. But Cindy was like, no, I want you to tell Jamie this, talk to Jamie, and Jamie wants to talk to you and she wants you. And I'm like, okay, does she know? And I thought it was weird. I should have stuck with my gut feeling and said, if she wants to talk to me, she can call me.
Right, because it was like you were bothering her or something.
Well, I felt like, why would I be calling her? If she wants to talk to me, call me. But the way Cindy was like, here's her phone number. I told her I'm giving you her phone number. I want you to talk to her, and I did it. I don't know, doormatitis or something. I should have just said no. But talking with Jamie, I'll tell you this. When I talk to Cindy, I'll get a headache. Often. I'll get a headache. And I don't get headaches. I'm old and I'm not a headache person. I'm just not. But when I talked to Cindy, so many times I would get a headache. And I get that, like why I would. When I talk to Jamie for only like 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops, my stomach hurt. And it's like, how they say that you have a gut feeling about something?
Right.
I totally believe in that. Like, the old phrase, that guy's a pain in the neck, right? Well, if you start getting a neck pain, take a look at who you're dealing with, because you know what I mean? Because your muscles will tense there. I believe in that stuff. I had a gut read on Jamie just talking with her for 2 or 3 minutes, and I believe in that stuff, okay? And so I paid attention. My gut tightened when I talked to her. I thought, ooh. So I knew that my body didn't trust, right? That it was like, ooh, that's interesting. I think that was before, I think, that she went into that live chat and texted the channel creator, who was a known scumbag. I said to Cindy, what's going on? And Cindy is oblivious to it. And I have been wondering all along if Jamie hasn't been somehow like sabotaging or trying
Well,
to.
she probably, to her parents, she probably was like, stay off social media. I could deal with any social media because she's younger and she's more informed with it. So I could definitely see the parents turning a blind eye and just saying, okay, like we won't even get into that because we don't even really know how to deal with it.
Right. Well, I'll tell you something else, though. I think it's interesting that Jamie is supposedly so silent, because I think she's very active, actually. I did a video one time. Cindy sent me some photos, and I did a video that showed one of the photos of Christopher Watt's sister Jamie and his wife. My phone rang within 5 minutes of that video going up and they had no knowledge that I was putting a video up at that time, right? My phone rang within 5 minutes of putting that video up, with Cindy telling me that Jamie was really upset and how she shouldn't have sent me that picture of Jamie. Jamie wanted her picture down, blah, blah, blah. That picture's all over the internet. It isn't like it was anything that hasn't already been plastered all over the place. But Jamie called her immediately and said, tell her now to remove that. And I did, because I don't care, whatever. Doesn't bother me if, I didn't want her to have her picture on my video if she didn't want it on there, right? But I thought it was odd, because that photo, like I said, has already been used all over the place. And within 5 minutes of putting that video up, boom, she was calling her mother, telling her to tell me what to do, right? In hindsight, looking back, I should have just said, shove it, because of what I think now. But I didn't think that at the time. At the time I thought, oh, I didn't know that she wouldn't want that picture to be used. So, I mean, I hate to say it, but I really think that Jamie has been connected right from day one with a lot of the crap that's been going on. I do. And I think that she has not been direct with her parents. I think that she pretty much acts to her parents as if she really cares about her brother, but I don't think she does. So everything that you just said, Melissa, it all makes perfect sense. The thing about Ronnie in rehab, though, that doesn't make sense at all. Because the story that I got was that he used like a long time ago, and it was for a short time frame.
It it could be dribs and drabs of truthfulness and mixed in with a little bit of lie. I don't know. Like I said, these aren't my words. This is just, I'm relaying the information that I saw. But, an addict is an addict, for their life. Just because he might have been addicted to one thing doesn't necessarily mean that's what he's in rehab for today. If an addict feels like they're
Yeah,
struggling
but
and they make
I don't know that he was an addict. I mean, I don't think that's ever been
I don't
confirmed.
either. I don't either. But I take it with a grain of salt,
Right. I wonder if maybe he's emotionally having difficulty dealing with all this crap.
That's what I would assume. Like, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't necessarily mean, he's in rehab. If he's in rehab for a specific substance, it could just be an emotional toll to the point where you mentally feel like you're going to break, or you may feel like you may go use. Who knows?
Exactly, yeah. Because the way it was described to me, and anything I've ever heard, even the Shiners say, it sounds to me like he used cocaine for a short period of time. And if that turns I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not that shocked by somebody at that point in his life using cocaine for a year or whatever it was. I don't, I don't think it's that shocking.
Well, I saw that they pulled up like the visitor records as of today, and that Mark Lepsy was still on the record, but Kim K wasn't.
Good. Because I think he can trust Mark a lot faster than he could ever trust Kim. And I know that Ronnie trusts Mark. So I think that's what matters more than.
Do you know who Kelly is? Because, like I said, it said that Lana is Kelly's cousin who's close friends with Jamie. Have you ever heard the name Kelly before?
Yes. Kelly's the first one. That Thursday phone call, and then I got the Friday quick phone call with Cindy saying thank you. Kelly was the first one to jump on board. Kelly and Shannon are both closely tied to Jamie. Yes. And then the KK channel hopped right up. So I think they're all connected. And I think also Jay is for Justice has provided a good platform for Lana that
Yeah.
I think KK was probably banking on more or less being, you know, being like the only place Lana could land or whatever. And I think Jay is for Justice really gave Lana a good platform.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I noticed in the chat, people were questioning, like, where is KK? Because she's kind of disappeared. But she did come up. I'm not on her Patreon or anything, but they said that she did post a message saying she will be posting a video soon, but she has been MIA. So just hearing this stuff, it kind of coincides with what I'm seeing, but who knows? We hear a lot of stuff.
Exactly. But yeah, the whole Ronnie and rehab thing, like my feeling on that is I doubt it. Maybe he has been hospitalized for a couple days or something. Maybe he's had some kind of physical symptoms from stress or whatever. I highly doubt he's in rehab because I highly doubt he's a drug abuser. This whole idea, this kind of, um, it's reminiscent really of the first like 6 months of this bullshit because I say they, like the people saying mean things about everybody, they would say things that it would be like, what are you talking about? And then we'd find out, oh, yeah, that's what they're made of. Like a lot of the people that are like, oh, Miss Mensa had her kids removed, by CPS, right? That's something that Shanann's own brother or whoever is posting comments under his profile name has posted. Absolutely, publicly committing defamation. There is no truth to that whatsoever. But then you look at it, a lot of these people who are running around being the scumbag attackers, they've had their kids removed. They talk about it openly, how they lost their kids.
Oh, they're the first ones to point the finger.
Yeah, and my kids were never removed. We never had any kind of CPS action whatsoever. And it's ludicrous that I would even have to be saying this. It's the most ludicrous, ridiculous, disgusting defamatory statement, right? Especially when the people making those statements have had their kids removed or have never had a kid or whatever. So I think the whole idea of calling Ronnie a druggie just comes from a place of natural, it's, what is it they say, it's in the wheelhouse or whatever. Like calling someone a druggie is like what they live. Yeah,
Right.
I don't think a man using cocaine after his kids are both grown and out of the house. I just, I mean, I'm not into cocaine at all, but I don't think it's that big of a deal that someone might choose to do whatever recreational drug, you know? And again, I think what we have with this whole YouTube drama is a bunch of crackheads trying to turn it into an addiction. I don't think they're familiar with the practice, I guess, of some people using a little bit of cocaine at a point in their life, right? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying it's okay to use cocaine. It is not okay to use cocaine, obviously. But I think when you have a bunch of crackhead scumbag losers, that's in their wheelhouse. Oh, he used cocaine. He's a drug addict. No, using a little cocaine doesn't make you a drug addict. Just my opinion. For all I know, he's in rehab and has been using cocaine for 20 years. I don't know.
Right. Just
I
to
don't know.
specify, Comic Clover, this is just something I saw post up on one of the Facebook groups a few minutes ago. That's where I got it from. So, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. So, I'm not sure how credible it is or what.
Was it from the KK channel or was it from the
No,
Lana?
no, it wasn't. It was, I can't switch off because I won't, I'm not sure which one. It was not from the KK channel or the Lana channel. All it
Okay.
says is that, um, you know, from a close source, this is what she told me. Hopefully she'll go live with me soon. She has a lot of information she has shared and she has given me permission. Apparently Jay for Justice, Jennifer and Lana flew to Colorado last night, but not for attorney. 2, Lana is Kelly's cousin. Kelly is Jamie's friend. 3, Ronnie is in rehab. 4, Chris wants to put protective orders in place for his family. 5, 4 days ago, Jamie and Chris Watts had a horrible confrontation about Chris Watts not caring that Ronnie is in rehab. She's blaming him. Prison cut off the Zoom call. She was losing her S. 6, Chris Watts does not want the 35C. 7, Chris Watts removed KK. 8, and wants them to leave him alone. 9, when Chris Watts was told about the transfer to Colorado, the warden and the DA had some kind of evidence that there would be a hit on him or something. And so he does not want to go and they stop the transfer. And 10, CW is losing his crap out there. That's all it says.
Okay. Is there a way for you to find out what channel it came from?
Yeah, I can. I'm gonna have to hop off because when I lose I think I'm gonna have to hop off. Hold on. If I lose, I'll jump back on, but I'll get the information.
Okay. Okay, good. That'd be good to know.
Are you there?
I'm here. Good job. You didn't drop.
Oh my god, I didn't. Okay, so it's from the Murders of Christopher Watts, which I think is Sherilyn Cadle's Facebook or whatever her group.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard of it. I'm out of the loop. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, if he's in rehab, I wonder if maybe he isn't in some kind of like a couple days in from the stress kind of thing. Because I don't know, I just don't view the way Cindy told me about it all, I don't view that as addiction. So I don't know. I do believe that Jamie and her brother had a big fight enough that the prison guards would have turned it off. I think that I, I hate to say it, but I don't think Jamie has been on board at all about giving a rat's ass about what really happened.
But why? Why would Jamie want to sabotage her own brother?
Well, here's a thought. Back in 2018, there was some sort of weird fundraising going on, and maybe the scumbag attackers have somehow convinced Jamie that she did something wrong or that she was part of something bad. Because there was a lot of dirt going on. In fact, the people who were attacking me, and you remember I've said it a million times how there were 10 of us initially that they targeted. The
Yeah.
people the people attacking us were the ones involved with trying to scam whatever, the fundraising crap. And Cindy and Jamie were right in the middle of stuff, right? Those people attacking us, the 10 of us, I didn't learn this until like a year later. They were telling people that I was part of some fundraising stuff and that I took off with all their money. That was one of their stories. Another one of their stories was that I stole something like 8 or 10 grand or something from their money. It is all pure rubbish. It's total BS. I was never involved with any fundraiser whatsoever. And I didn't even deal with those idiots, any of them. But they were making that claim, and that's how they would get other people to hate me and stuff and to make bad videos and everything. There was one person called Ginger Ninja, and she would run around. She was one of the scumbag attackers, and she would run around telling people that I was involved with their whole fundraising scheme or something and that I took off with money. I didn't. I've never been involved with any of that bullshit. And I think that possibly Jamie may have been convinced by those scumbags that she did something bad. Maybe that, that's like giving her, I guess, seeing it in the best light is maybe she's scared she was involved with something bad. Now, is that what I think happened? Yeah, I mean, like I don't think she's innocent, I'll tell you that much. I think, but you say, why would that be? That could be one reason. Maybe she's pretty much figuring she's got to go along with whatever pack of weirdos. I don't know.
But even if I was guilty of something, I would just keep my mouth shut, like you
I
don't
know it.
deserve to be doing anything. It would have
I
to
know
be
it.
something really bad for you to go and tango with the devil, and make it worse for
Exactly.
your brother.
Exactly. Well, and people say that her husband really hates Christopher Watts. Evidently, her husband really has it bad for him. Doesn't like him at all. So I don't know. Maybe she's kind of in the middle of whatever and trying to please her parents at the same time. I don't know. But I'll tell you, as soon, my gut feeling has been, ooh, I don't trust her. But as soon as that happened with Mark Gillespie and the lawyer and stuff, and then the Shannon and Kelly and KK routine, all within, I'm talking within a day, okay? It's like, who is the only person? KK wouldn't have known, you know, um, Kelly, Shannon, any of them, they wouldn't have known. The only way that they would have found out would be through Jamie.
Right.
Plus, here's the other thing. There have been many times where I've talked with Cindy and I've said things like, I've really tried to encourage them because I won't answer any kind of legal questions at all, period. I'm not a practicing lawyer in North Carolina or Colorado. I'm not going to sit there and try to answer any legal questions for them. But over and over again, I said to Cindy, get a lawyer. And I'm not talking about for Christopher Watts. I'm saying get a lawyer so that you can stop answering your phone, stop trying to figure out who's who and who to trust and who not to trust, and have everybody contact the lawyer if they have some kind of whatever they want to try to talk you into. And over again, she would say, oh, yes, you're right. I'm going to get a lawyer. You're right. Yes, you're right. And then she wouldn't do it. There was one time she was going to run to the courthouse and get a copy of something for me, and then she never did it. I think that what happened, there were many more examples. I think that what happened each time is that she would say, yes, I'm going to do that. And then I think her daughter probably said, no, mama, don't. No, mama, don't. You know, I think that's part of Cindy's problem with her being attacked, is I think that her own daughter is part of those groups. That's just my opinion, and I could be totally wrong, but I don't think I am. Not with the timing with the Mark Gillespie stuff. Ronnie trusted Mark Gillespie totally. They talked every day. Cindy trusted me totally, right? And when I confronted Cindy about this crap with Shannon and Kelly and KK, I said, what on earth is going on? What are you doing? You know, this is going to harm any efforts, you know. Plus, I was angry. I got to tell you, I was angry because I spent time, and so did Mark Gillespie. He spent a lot of time. It isn't just a matter of making a phone call and saying, hi, here's a case you might want. You know, there was a lot of information that had to be sent. I was angry. I was very angry because this whole time, and I not only wasted my time, I wasted that lawyer's time. And Mark wasted his time, and Mark wasted the time of the other lawyer. Okay. So that what, Ronnie and Cindy could both play like they don't know anything. You know, I was mad, and I sent her an email, and I said, what on earth is going on? And I pretty much, I'm like, this is it. This is bad. Blah, 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 you know? And she replied that she's really sorry that I feel that way, da, da, da. But she confirmed the whole KK stuff. And I just thought, forget it. I'm not wasting another minute of my time. And I immediately called off anyone trying to help. Immediately. Because if you can't trust that what you're being told is how it is, right? And if you have somebody either in the family or part of their collection of, you know, whatever, in my opinion, purposely sabotaging any effort, then, you know, you hit a point where you're done wasting your time. I figure the best thing that I can do is just continue on helping people have a place to speak, and have a place to speak where they're not going to be getting blocked or yelled at or, you know, called a Shannon basher, you know, whatever, right? That's the best thing I can do, is just have a place where the discussion can continue and encourage people to make their own channels and to keep the discussion going and pretty much stand up for the fact that two little girls deserve for the truth to be known, you know?
Oh,
But
absolutely. And that's why as soon as I saw that, I hopped on. I'm not saying the information is credible. I'm not saying I know that if it's anywhere near truth, or it could just be another flooding of the street situation, but I'm still going to bring it to discuss, because I'm, you know, anytime there's an update, I'm like, let's talk about it. Let's dissect this. Let's figure out what's truth. Let's debunk it. Let's just talk.
What do you think is true from what you've read? What parts do you think make sense?
I think Chris wants everyone to leave him the hell alone.
Yeah, that resonates, doesn't it? That really resonates.
Yeah, because that's the one question I was constantly asking KK is, listen, I could get on board with whatever your theory is. You know, I'll listen, I'll hear you out. But one question that I have is Chris aware that you're on his behalf saying that Shanann killed these girls? You know, because unless he's not going, like, you keep telling me it's the first confession, but unless he's saying it's the first confession, like, does he know that? And she could never answer that question. So I can't get behind someone if I don't even know if that's what he's saying.
Right. I don't think that KK has ever worked directly for Chris at all. I don't believe that. I think what's happened is, I think that Jamie gave KK the go ahead. Here's something that people don't realize about the KK, and there's another K also. They were both heavily involved day one with two separate Facebook groups that both claimed back in the first week of September, so it would have just been a few weeks after the tragedy happened. They claimed they had over 15,000 members each in their Facebook groups, okay? That wasn't true. I've been doing true crime on social media, specifically Facebook groups, discussion groups for cases. There's no way that the case of Christopher Watts would have had over 15,000 members each. because the most popular cases of all have anywhere from 1 to 2,000 max. People in the true crime community, a lot of them will pick a case that they're especially interested in, and they'll join a group specific to that case. But, the diehard fans, I don't like the word fan, but the diehard true crimer, right? There are not 15,000 of them within 3 weeks of a crime hitting the headlines. There simply is not. This
Right.
case, and this case is not the more popular true crime case. It is for us because this is what we discuss on this channel, right? And this is what I mean, people gravitate toward. But if you look at the numbers, at one point KK's channel had over 9,000 members. Now it says over 5,000 members. Did you know that?
No, I didn't take that much interest in it, but I've noticed she's just doing the same song and dance over again.
Yep. And did you know just the other day, last Wednesday, I think it was, maybe Thursday, I did a video and I said we're going to go back to the basics.
Right.
Just the other day, KK did a video saying we're going to go back to the basics. Like, these people are doing nothing but copying what they see. They're lacking for content. So I've never believed that she was totally like working for Christopher Watts. What I have believed from the start is that she has been operating with full permission from his sister. And I think that what they did is they acted quickly because I don't think she wanted real lawyers to be helping her brother. That's just my opinion. That's been my gut feeling for a long time. So I don't know. I totally, that resonates absolutely, that Christopher Watts would be saying that he doesn't want anyone talking for him and saying anything. And I agree. I don't think he wants people to be, I don't think he will ever get to the point of saying what he said in his first confession for whatever reason, whether he's afraid to say it, whether he's agreed never to say it, whether he's decided, as he told his mother, to take responsibility for what happened. For whatever reason, I do think that he would be appalled if he saw the crap that KK has put out there, and also some of the stuff that Lana's put out there. But I'll tell you one more person who I think would be absolutely appalled, and that would be his wife. I think Christopher Watts' wife would be appalled if she saw how people were acting in her name. Just my opinion.
No, I agree. Well, I just wanted to hop up here and tell you what the aka breaking news, as I do it in quotation, breaking news is, and bring it to you first. But yeah,
Yeah,
thanks for having me on again, Miss
should probably.
Samantha. And if anything else comes up, I'll be the first to let you know.
Excellent. Thank you, Melissa. And I should probably change the title to breaking news like KK does, right? Then she goes, she's copying me.
Well, I already started writing down all of my stuff for this case, and I'm getting really excited.
Oh, good, good. Well, I think our defense team is so good that we scared away the prosecutor, though.
Hey, listen, if we need a prosecutor, I'll switch sides. Like I said, a good lawyer can argue any side. That doesn't mean I believe that side.
Well, we do have one now. A volunteer, Robin, volunteered in tonight's chat, so we're back on.
Awesome.
But poor Chatterbox, I think they're probably pressuring her.
Probably. But listen, it's not like this trial's gonna mean anything. So, I don't know what
Exactly. Exactly. This is the no rule zone anyway. Like Shenanigan Maker said, that we're just gonna sit back on the defense and shoot the darts at their balloons.
Yeah, they're hypothetical balloons. I really like that. That was funny.
Well, thank you so much, Melissa. You just made it so much more interesting to hear all of that. Let's really hope that, let's hope that KK has been called out, and let's hope that Kelly and Lana and whatever else, there's nothing wrong with the truth, right?
Listen, her channel would be completely fine if she came out and said, these are the opinions of myself and myself alone. But the problem is if you're starting to speak on behalf of someone, and that's not accurate, there's the issue.
Exactly. And then she's talking in a way that does not make sense. She's saying, when we go to trial,
right.
Well, what is she? Does she have a lawyer sitting in her pocket? Because she's not a lawyer. I don't understand the way she presents things. It's like, stop pretending like you're a lawyer. You're not a
Well,
lawyer.
anytime someone questions, doing this would actually hurt his case, she's like, that's ridiculous. This actually would only help his case in the public of court opinion. Well, that doesn't really mean anything when it comes to
Yeah,
legality part.
exactly. Public opinion doesn't matter, but I'll tell you what does matter, and that is if a lawyer, licensed in the state of Colorado, with experience handling appeals, if a lawyer sees this mess and decides not to involve himself, that is how KK is hurting Christopher Watts. That is how KK is hurting Ronnie and Cindy Watts.
Ooh, Mary said her husband's an attorney who has read the discovery. He can be a prosecutor.
Oh, good, good, good. Excellent. Does he want to be, though, Mary, or would you just be
does
telling
he
him?
want to be?
She's probably like Shanann. She's probably like, you're going to do this. You're going to make me
It's
look
probably
good.
better that he's not very deep into the case, though, so he could just argue with facts.
Right. He can be objective.
All right, well, I'm going to hop off and go back into the live.
Okay.
Chat.
Okay. Thank you so much, Melissa.
No problem.
I'm just reading your comments right now, guys. Sorry, I just went quiet. So what do you guys think? Do you think that okay, I'm looking. Carrie has a question. Hold on. I'm scrolling. Carrie says true story. I don't see a question. Oh, here it is. Okay. Carrie Lee, Miss Mensa, do you support KK? I saw you chat with her on Zav's Live about 3 weeks ago. I'm not a troll, just curious, and don't want to watch anyone that supports the Three Stooges. Really? You saw me chatting with KK on Zav Live? Really? Carrie says, I'm not a troll, just curious, and don't want to watch anyone that supports the Three Stooges. Yeah. Nice try. Nice try. Didn't work. Catherine says, I think Jamie knows he did it and Cindy doesn't want to believe. I think you're mischaracterizing Cindy because Cindy has said right from the start that she wants to know the truth. Cindy happens to be the one and only who wanted a trial because she wanted the truth to come out. So, just my opinion, I think you're mischaracterizing Cindy. Susie says Zav hasn't had KK on her channel. I was thinking the same thing, Susie. And the part of the comment that I noticed that was very glaring was, I'm not a troll or anything. I don't want to watch anyone who's blah 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 blah. Really? Oh, sorry guys. I'm yawning. Lilu says Zav forgets her script. She says that she has, I can't remember, does she have OCD or ADHD or something? She says that quite a bit. Paula says, if it was my son, you can bet your last buck. That's cute that you say last buck. I say bottom dollar. You can bet your last buck I would want the truth. Exactly. Cindy has been the target of such harassment for so long, and it's all a pack of lies. Over and over again, we hear that Cindy just can't accept the truth. Cindy's in denial. Cindy just can't face the fact. Baloney. Cindy has said from day one that she wants to know the truth. Cindy has said from day one, before the plea deal, that she wanted her son to go to trial. She told him, go to trial. Melissa says, LOL, Clover, it takes one day to fall behind. Oh, now Karen says that KK was on Zap Girl. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. Okay. um, Leela says, cannot stand. I was attacked so badly. I was attacked really bad, too. I was attacked really bad, and it was more than a few weeks ago. And pretty much she sat up there laughing about it. I know what? I love it. Isn't that amazing? Melissa popped right up and gave us the scoop. That was really a really good job, Melissa. Robin said ADHD. Oh, I'm yawning again. Oh, you guys aren't boring at all. I'm just yawning. Yes, she does allow hate. I've witnessed it firsthand, and it was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I agree. I think it is a dumb act. I think it's a read your script type act. Robin says Cindy just wants to know the truth, whatever it may be exactly. Oh, you guys, you know what? I'm doing like nonstop yawning. What is it? It's 10:59 here. I'm thinking we should start saying our goodnight, John Boy routine. Because if I fall asleep, that would be really embarrassing. And you know, we talk about it enough. You know, I'm gonna, right? One of these nights. I agree, Shakur. I don't think she has control over her channel. She was getting emails while they were attacking me. It was really, really bad. Melissa caught the John Boy reference and said, good night, Mary Ellen. Danielle's got to be up early. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and call it a night. I really appreciate you guys. I love it. Love it, love it. We have our prosecutor. We have a kick butt defense team. We have a judge who knows how to file her nails. I'm a Clover says we love your soft lull of snores. Oh my gosh. You guys are great. Yes, Robin is our prosecutor because I think Chatterbox is probably getting pressured to not take part, which is really too bad. Robin says good night to all. Good night, prosecutor Robin. Good night, Paula. Love to all. So let's all have a great weekend. Be safe. Be happy. Be healthy. And know that you are loved.